It just blew up.
All right, well, oh, there you are. Hey, everybody.
We just blew up, folks. Hello, everybody. It's been almost a year. I hope you've been doing well. I did mean to call you. It's not like I just woke up the next morning and left, okay? I left a note and I said, listen, it may be up to a year because this whole pandemic thing. I'm going to wait until I get my 2 shots. You know, it's not like I'm... Listen, I didn't forget about you. It's not you, it's me, okay? It's not you, it's me. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee with Curmudgeons. I am Curmudgeon number 2. And
Hi.
And there's Curmudgeon number 1.
Hi. Oh, okay. It's all wrong. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Is your headphones wigging out?
Yep,
Yeah.
a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to roll
It's just
with
the
that.
headphones, though. It's not us. Hi, look. There we are.
Yes. Okay. Back in studio.
Yeah, it's just like trying to figure out how to stream on Facebook and YouTube after God knows what they're...
Just about a year, man.
Well, you know...
It was June
Put in
last year.
Put in your, your kid's firstborn Social Security.
Yeah.
To get the persistent stream key, which isn't persistent because,
Yeah.
And then go get a visa from St. Petersburg or something.
That's really... they seemed like really overdoing it, right? But what I really didn't understand was when they asked me for a stool sample.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm eating, plenty of fiber, folks. You know
what they'll do? You know what they'll do? Next, require a vaccine.
In fact,
you can't stream on our network without... Oh, you wait. Oh, look, I'm doing this.
Yes. So, Sun Recording Studios.
I can take these off my reading glasses.
It's almost like you were down.
No. Not Sun Recording Studios.
Oh, what's Sun? S-U-N-N.
There.
Mm-hmm.
It is Sun. S-U-N-N.
For a minute, I thought it was the Sun
You're
Recording.
a local boy.
I just...
Tualatin, Oregon.
I've been hiding.
Sun amplifiers.
Oh.
You know Sun amplifiers.
Okay,
in
yes.
Tualatin, Oregon. As a matter of fact, I even looked on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone I know knows one Conrad is this on Conrad Sundholm and Norm Sundholm. I'm not sure if they were brothers or whatever, maybe.
But it's
founded Sun in Tualatin, Oregon.
The family Sundholm.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know who John Entwistle?
Yes.
Bass player.
The Who.
Of The Who.
Yeah.
Sun amplifier endorser. And when The Who would come play in Portland, he would be hosted by the Sun Company.
Nice.
They're out of They were bought by Fender, and they went out of business in 2002. They were shut down by Fender. And guess what? Here's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Move that mic in there.
Okay. There we go. Closer.
But anyway, I should actually change the camera there.
It's been a while. It's been almost a year.
We don't know what the hell we're doing.
I had my microphone out here. I'm like, Doc, can you hear me? It's like anyway. Okay, we're back.
Exactly.
Hello, everybody.
Well, we had a lot of fancy things we were going to do, but just getting on Facebook and YouTube to stream is a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So, and it turns out I looked this up. There's a band, heavy metal band called that you ripped off this logo.
Oh, that is
like I did
copyright infringement.
Yeah, but anyway, made this on Sunday. My friend makes T-shirts.
Nice.
Yeah, now she's got a system that even I can make a T-shirt. That's the whole thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. You know how screen printing? We know people who screen print. There are people at House of Sound who screen print.
Oh, sure.
And that's hard. That's artwork, man. That's like the whole dedicated, like painting and stuff.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah, when we used to do our old show, we went through a hand shirt design. Clark Nichols, right? Local guy, does tons of businesses in Portland. Clark, hello there. It's been a while. And
you owe us advertising dollars.
It is an art form. I mean, I used to walk in there to pick up, to go in there and pick up the old Anarchy T-shirts and everything, and he'd have these racks of T-shirts that he's doing for other clients, and you'd see like Voodoo Donuts and other stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I was amazed at his artistry, right? Because I mean, here he is. He's like, oh no, they wanted this. I designed it all up, and I'm like, okay, all I can do is do stick figures, but all right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's artwork.
It is, yeah.
Take these off.
Graphic design, and then you got to get it.
Yeah, But I mean, and they do like, it's like a multi-process.
Yeah.
And now they have printers where actually it prints like a printer.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like an inkjet.
Yeah.
They have those now. Except it turns out they're really hard to operate.
No, that's...
Like because of the print and the ink and the cleaning the jet heads, just like a really good high-end printer. I mean, it's not like you go get a printer from the Office Depot and you're just like, okay, stick to, I'm out of ink. And you're always out of ink, by the way.
Plug and play.
That's the beauty of printer. You're always out of ink.
Always.
Oh, you will have this printer, but you'll always be out of ink. $50 later to print a page.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to print that on your Chromebook, no can do. Because Google doesn't believe in printing anymore.
Google, those guys.
Yeah, no, they don't. Trust me, I know.
Very proprietary.
But anyway, yeah, and you could print, you just have your inkjet, change it out.
Yeah.
But like for these printers, and they're not cheap, you have to clean them and put special ink in, and then if you don't use it tomorrow, you gotta. They're difficult and they're expensive. So I know this because my friend had one. Yeah. But this, I mean, it's a thing where you go in Photoshop, make your design,
excellent,
and then you put it in the thing, and then it's another thing that looks like a printer, which they cost money, and I don't know, but I don't own one. My friend does.
It's all Swahili to me.
And it's got a little cutter. Like those printers, like those 3D printers cutter. And stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And then you just go, and then it goes, and then you take it off, you put it on the shirt, and you have, what do you have? A press, right? And you press it down, and boom, shirt. Wow. Even someone as dumb as me can do that. I was like, "What? Can I make a shirt? Wow!" I loved it.
You say that like if someone's dumb as me, then flash it over to me, and I'm just sitting there like this.
Well, no, it's like
because it's beyond my
screen printing's really hard. You really have to learn that art.
Yeah, it's beyond my skill set.
Like I said, we know some screen printers in the past who did that as a living, and it's a job. It's a living. And you can easily mess it up and stuff, and then you're like, and a beautifully screen printed shirt is a work of art, in my opinion.
The attention to detail is off the charts with those people.
And we grew up like in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Where, screen print shirts were, I mean, the kids nowadays, that's what they get. They like those old vintage shirts, I remember going to Target years ago, and it was like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all these shirts that we had in the 70s. It's like, oh, now these little kids are buying these shirts.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a thing. So I always I'd always like to make a shirt. But see, this is like, remember you used to go to the mall and they'd have all those shirts, right? Mm-hmm. T-shirts, all different colors. Mm-hmm. And what they do? Then they had designs on the wall, like a tattoo shop.
And you could pick, you could pick, I want that shirt.
I want that one. Yeah. And then they go, okay, what shirt? And you go, the yellow jersey right there. They'd go, okay, what size, right? They go pick out the yellow jersey, extra, extra large, because we were big boys back when we were kids. Well, we covered that in an episode a long time ago.
We ate hearty back then.
Yeah, husky.
They called it big husky. Big bone, raw and big boned.
Yeah, big boned and husky. But anyway, but the trend is getting better now. Yeah. So they pull that off the wall. Remember? Yeah. And it would be one of your friends that you went to high school with, like, whatever. Which one do you want, man? Come on, man. My lunch break's coming up.
All right. We get the T-shirt.
Clackamas Town Center, Washington Square. But anyway, I could go to Wilson's and buy a leather jacket for my girlfriend.
That's like straight out of 1985.
Dude, I lived it, okay? Come on.
I remember that place in the town, the old Clackamas Town Center. I remember that shop.
Every place had it.
Lower level, down by Sears.
A national thing.
Yeah. And you'd go in there and...
I think at one time they had more than one because it's a popular
huge chain sort of thing.
And they were probably like playing like KGUN, KNRK, little something. Yeah. Little something rock and roll kind of,
KUFO back then.
You like Aerosmith? Yeah. Well, we got a cool Aerosmith design up there. Brand new. You like Aerosmith? Yeah.
So you're saying...
What about Rush Fly By Night? Ooh, that album. Yeah,
Fly By Night. Oh, wow. Is that one with Bytor? Or is that Caress of Steel that has?
No. Oh, good question. Good question.
One of them is just, it's great just because.
I feel like it's Fly By Night, but I could be wrong.
I think it's the second one.
Someone's out there going, no, it's Caress of Steel.
Right. Someone's already corrected it.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Moving pictures. But anyway, Farewell to Kings, Permanent Waves. No.
I'm sorry. I started singing on Train to Bangkok.
But Permanent Waves, though.
Ooh, well.
Spirit of Radio. Come on. One of the finest tracks ever produced. Oh, yeah. Come on. Red Barchetta, too. Red Barchetta.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Anyway, so they'd go and pull that down.
Yeah.
And then what do? They'd put your shirt there, put the design down, and then big old boom, shirt. Right? I know, that. But this is like the 21st century version of it, and it's shiny and stuff.
It is shiny.
And you can combine different shiny colors if you want, but that's a little bit advanced for me.
So you're telling me I could make a custom
Yeah.
I got so many ideas.
And had I had more time on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had a lot of time lately.
Stuff's going on.
Stuff going on. So, but anyway. Yeah. But it's like cool. It's like, it goes in there. So you Photoshop this thing, and then it goes in there and goes. But then you got to kind of peel it off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made one for my aunt for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool design. Oh, and they have glitter ones.
Was it just?
It was like glitter.
Was it just with your face, like right there on the chest?
No. It was a glittery, kind of a glittery party shirt kind of a thing.
That's
with
cool.
glitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got glitter, shiny. It's vinyl, is what it is.
Ooh.
And then it goes on your shirt. So
I like it. Cool.
Yeah, so now I have some interesting band shirts and stuff. It's just cool.
Nice.
I mean, it's like first time it was like, because you used to, back in the day, be able to get those transfers. That's what they were called.
Mm-hmm.
You could get them yourself and then get your shirt and then it would be, Mom, I got to put this transfer on the shirt. And then you'd have that
iron-on
crappy,
thing, right?
Yeah, it was an iron-on. That was it, an iron-on. And you'd have the crappy Hamilton Beach or whatever. What are the iron? You know, the one that would never heat up.
Yeah, I think
unless you touched it.
Yeah, I think that was maybe Oster or
whatever.
Maybe Hamilton Beach is a good one. No, not so.
I don't know what is it.
I don't want to trash anyone's line or anything like that. You know,
what's Procter and Gamble? I don't know.
Getting hate mail from Procter and Gamble.
But anyway, you'd have you'd have that thing, right? That iron.
Yeah.
And it was always like never hot enough.
Never hot enough
until it touched your skin.
Right.
Then it was piping hot.
Or when you set it down to go somewhere else for a second.
Yes,
and then your drapes are on fire and you're wondering why, what happened.
Why is Clackamas County fire here? Drapes are on fire.
I was just doing socks, all right? You know.
Did you put water in it? It was always putting that water in it. Why did you have to put water in it?
You got to put water in it?
Yes.
You're telling the fire guy that you got to put water in it?
There's always that thing.
Oh.
And was it? Okay, because I'm, kind of old. Like, seriously. Like we're talking old, like...
Vintage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, vintage.
Yeah,
vintage is cool.
Vintage.
But, like, like on TV, I mean, real Donna Reed kind of Mrs. Olsen. In fact, if you want to have a hoot, I have the whole Mrs. Olsen coffee commercials here.
Really?
The most sexist things you'll ever see in your life.
Was that Folgers back in the day? Maxwell House?
See, I don't remember. I just know it's Mrs. Olsen.
One of them, yeah.
And it's always like some husband screaming at his wife about the crappy coffee, and Mrs. Olsen has to show up and scream at her too.
Taster's Choice?
No. I think it was one of those big ones.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, so I kind of grew up like in that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of weird. So, moms ironed. Like they ironed.
Yeah.
Iron stuff. And then when you were in like some weird church or Boy Scout thing, you had to iron and you always burnt your uniform. Mom! Look what happened! Right? Big old iron. You're like, well, he's getting the rank, and you come out, you got this big old iron stain on the side. It would be like, and your mom would be like, I didn't He ironed his own shirt.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I don't know how many cummerbunds I went through because
cummerbunds.
Cummerbunds. That's something you don't hear much
No,
anymore.
that's like for
cummerbund.
prom.
Right. Well, no, I was in like jazz choir. Back
Oh
then.
yeah.
So we'd
yeah,
have the
nice.
tuxedos and everything,
Jazz choir.
and cummerbund.
Yeah.
That was my bugaboo, the cummerbund.
Going down to Birdland.
Yeah.
I just listened to that recently.
Manhattan Transfer.
Not the
Birdland.
Weather Report, the Manhattan Transfer version.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little impromptu. Oh man, kind of missing. Well, kind of missing the streaming radio station in the
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about putting something together, and I'm still thinking of that.
Hey, I got a couple shows ready to go.
Oh, dude, the other day,
doing
and especially when I'm with a particular friend, it's impromptu DJ. Just on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what it was the other day? Smooth jazz.
Not just jazz, but smooth.
Can I do that? Does it? No, it'll sound evil. Well, maybe it's this one. Is it this?
Smooth.
Smooth jazz.
88.5 FM San Jose Live. Get ready for some smooth jazz. Suck it up, people. Embrace it. We'll be back right after this.
It still works.
Yeah, there you go.
Still works. I mean, all that stuff. The mixer board, the digital mixer board, totally works.
Yeah.
Actually, the video where it's just
Smooth.
it's just Facebook and YouTube changing their interfaces every 3 months for live streaming. And you're like, what do I do now? Anyway,
Yeah.
which is why you prepare for that before you have to go live 10 minutes before, which I don't have time to do.
Not me.
Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I was doing the smooth jazz and I actually posted last week on Twitter the outcome of that. Of course, what's one of the great smooth jazz pieces of all time, and one of the great well-known ones. Well, there's several, but this one is a pretty well-known. Angela's Theme by Bob James, otherwise known as the theme to Taxi.
Yeah.
Right,
Chuck Mangione-ish.
Oh yeah. We had Feel So Good in there. We had
Jocko too, right?
yeah, a little
Pastorius?
bit heavier. Yeah, a little bit heavier. No, we had the Chuck Mangione Feel So Good. We had the Bob James, of course. Lots of George Benson. You remember George Benson?
Love George Benson.
Breezin' on Broadway.
His version of Beyond the Sea.
What's the other one? There's
Beautiful.
another one. It was a couple. He had about 4 smooth jazz hits.
I had his
In the
album
70s.
2020. He
Yeah.
had Nothing's Gonna Take My Love for You. And then
Spyro Gyra.
and then my favorite cover version of Beyond the Sea. He nailed it, He had that smooth voice.
Well,
Beyond
he was a real
the
deal.
sea.
He was a real deal.
Somewhere.
He was a really, he really great jazz guitarist. And all of that.
It's underrated.
Real deal.
Yeah.
He just a lot of jazz musicians in the 70s, when rock was, jazz was not very popular
No.
after the
Well, in
late
the
60s.
Yeah, in the late 60s, you had the Miles Davis, you had all that
Yeah, but-
stuff. You had the, even Spyro Gyra.
But, jazz was very popular in the
that later?
50s and the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
You
Huge, yeah.
I mean, gold record stuff.
That's when they were doing some of their best stuff.
But when rock and roll, when the Beatles, when it really, late 60s going into the 70s, it was all rock and roll was selling all the big albums. In fact, a lot of bands, a lot of musicians went to Europe to perform because they couldn't really get decent gigs in the U.S. And, it wasn't like back in the heyday. I mean, it was sure jazz aficionados, people were buying jazz records, but not like mainstream.
No.
Jazz wasn't mainstream in fact, it was hard to hear jazz on the radio.
Right.
So in the mid to late 70s, kind of with the disco era and all that, some of those musicians kind of crossed over into that pop, smooth jazz stuff, like Chuck Mangione, like George Benson.
Didn't they call some of that fusion for a while? They were trying to find a label for it. And they'd come out with...
But this is definitely more the pop, smooth version of that. As opposed to the fusion's more like the Miles Davis, a little hardcore, Fusion's a little more heavy. Like some of it's even more like rock,
Yeah.
But this is really the smooth. This is the stuff you turn on the adult contemporary radio station in like 1979, and you'd hear, oh, that's a Bob James, and later, K-I-N-K, and here's a little George Benson with Breezin'. I mean, that sort of thing. The stuff you'd go into your dental office for a cleaning.
Yeah.
And
that's
pretty much, you'd get the Chuck, and here's that hit. Feel So Good was gigantic. I mean, that was a jazz instrumental record, of course, and it's pop and smooth and but it was it was double platinum. It sold an amazing amount, and of course, it pissed off a lot of jazz aficionados because it wasn't.
Right? Is it like selling out or something like that? Or you want too corporate?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. You bet.
I remember the Mangione record. That was huge back then.
Well, you remember on my... You don't remember because you didn't listen to it. But when I had a jazz show...
Yes.
Right, on streaming radio...
Is this played Tea Time at the Aquarium?
No,
or
this was the jazz show. It was the Weather Report. It was called
the Weather Report, yes.
The jazz show.
Yes.
Where I just spun jazz records on Saturday afternoon. Had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I went through a whole thing, and I played a bunch of Chuck Mangione. Chuck was the real deal, musically, as a composer, arranger, musically. And I played stuff from like the early 70s that Chuck had done, that was not like quite the syrupy kind of stuff that he did, like Feel So Good. And, a little later than that,
Right.
But, so he was, I mean, all those guys, again, George Benson, there's stuff you can hear George Benson play with a whole bunch of sidemen, like in the 60s, and he's, great guitar player.
Yeah.
And turned out to be a great singer, and then it all worked out.
They
made the money. They made the money. Go get the money.
You can't fault for doing
that. I mean, but there was a whole thing, and it really came to a head. Let's talk a history of jazz. It really came to a head with Kenny G.
Oh, boy. Yes, I remember the controversy of Kenny G back in the day. Oh, my gosh. People, you either liked him or loved him, or you just simply loathed Kenny G. I mean, there was no middle ground on this guy. He's a sellout. I always thought, I kind of took an ambivalent view of it, but because you listen to him and you say, okay, you can argue that he's selling out or doing whatever. Guy's talented.
He can play.
Yeah, he's got chops. I mean,
he can play.
People would dish on him all the time, and I'm like, guy. At the end of the day, though, he still can play, and he's good.
I got to be honest. I'm not so down with a lot of that stuff that he did.
Kenny G.
But he sold like multi-platinum, and didn't he do like Michael Bolton? And
he did. He did.
He sold a lot.
But he spawned like a whole like line of copycats.
Yeah.
And mine, and this is true. When I say this, you're gonna say, "Oh no, he's making this up." No, really, Google it. You'll see it.
Google me, Chuck.
Yeah,
Chuck, Google me.
Drew the line at Zamfir, master of the pan flute.
Oh yeah,
remember that,
man?
Because at first there was Kenny G, then there was Yanni.
Yeah,
right.
Yanni.
And then there was Zamfir, master of the pan. I just lost it after that.
No, but it really took a turn when it was the host of Entertainment Tonight, John Tesh.
Oh. Yes, he's still doing it to this day. Tesh is still recording his music. Yeah.
The Tesh.
I don't know, man. You listen to that, and forever you have been Teshed. I'm sorry. I mean, it's almost like Stamos. John Tesh, his silky smooth by the fireplace, crackling.
We're not looking too bad there. But I mean, so it came to a head.
Yeah.
With all that. So much so that the Kenny G. Pat Metheny wrote a scathing blog a few years back, like in the, I don't know, maybe it was in the 2000s about Kenny G. It was like, dude, which is kind of unusual.
Years later, right?
Go after each other. Oh, yeah. A scathing blog. I've read it. It was like, oh, my. Pat Metheny on, But, But I played a tune. People and this was like a little ringer. There was a local band that had some jazz hits back in those days of Spyro Gyra and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know? Oh, you know which one it is?
Okay. Portland.
Portland, Northwest. I mean, Portland, Seattle-ish, but really Portland.
Okay, are we talking early, mid-'80s?
Yes, or even to the late 70s, like 78, 79, 80, 81.
Oh, man.
And they got played a lot. They got a lot of airtime on radio. They got a lot of airtime on Kink.
Yeah.
That would be...
Go ahead. Good.
Jeff Lorber Fusion. See, man, no one remembers anymore. Jeff Lorber, he was a legend.
Yeah, I've heard the
Jeff
name.
Lorber. Great. The hell was it? River Song, I think was the name of the album. I might be wrong. I pulled it up on YouTube.
Okay.
Huge hit. I mean, huge pop. Maybe they won some Grammys too.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I mean, the only thing, and I haven't had my thinking cap on in a while, so
yeah, people.
It's warming up right now. But I always
Jeff.
early '80s, I always that Tom Grant.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I knew you were just gonna say Tom Grant, who's playing around all the time.
That's when he had his Jazz Cat album, the first one he came out with.
Same time period.
Yeah.
Tom Grant, Jeff Lorber. To me, Tom Grant is more piano.
Yes.
I would say. You know, and Jeff Lorber was the keyboards, you know, the new synthesizer. Ooh, I got the Oberheim over here and the Moog and the ARP and stuff, which was all the rage back in the 70s.
Right.
For the pop jazz and then also the fusion jazz, you know, Chick Corea.
Oh, yeah.
Who died in...
R.I.P. Chick, man.
Yeah, since we were off.
That guy was so underrated in his lifetime.
No, he's a
Because he'd
monster.
sit there, Chick Corea, and they're like, who's Chick Corea? No. If you like this, listen to this. I mean, listen to the tempo
Chick,
and everything
Chick
of
did
it.
the fusion jazz, but he, you know, I never considered him like pop jazz or.
No.
I mean, he won Grammys and stuff, but deservedly so. He wrote some of the his playing, his compositions, his records are just legendary.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy just he's one of the greatest. I think I said on Twitter, one of the greatest composers and jazz musicians in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Really prolific.
Get no argument out of me there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he was. I mean, and even if you weren't per se what you would call the fans fan, there chances are if you heard something his, you would at least I recognize that, or I've heard that before.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was something in there. There was something in there as we take. Yeah, hey, coffee.
Got to keep hydrated.
Yeah, but there was always something there, like different styles. I mean, he did like heavy kind of rock fusion jazz with, you know, those guys like Stanley Clarke and El Demio and that. He
remember a lot of Latin.
Lighter. He did Latin influenced stuff.
Cuban.
He did classical stuff. He was influenced by classical. Yeah, just a monster musician.
Huge.
And he just kind of suddenly died. Like he was performing in New York, and I guess he was secretly ill or something, but he looked good and looked healthy. So when he passed away, people were like, whoa, wait a minute.
I just saw him last week.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a series of concerts for his birthday, like a month or two at the Blue Note in New York. And I was like, oh, man, if I could get over there and he had like all people that he played with over the years of, you know, famous
maybe that
musicians.
should have been a hint.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Get a last gathering of the tribe, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought they did a live stream at the beginning, kind of like when on Facebook, which is the Wynton Marsalis was at Lincoln Center.
Okay.
Jazz thing that Wynton Marsalis directs, and they always have a special guest
at the link.
Yeah, and it's young musicians, and they did a Chick Corea one, and it was really nice. And they have a big band there, and Wynton Marsalis. And they do a bunch of tunes, and then they do a little interview on the stage at the Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
That's a good bit.
Yeah.
But I never considered him really pop jazz. I have one record that's would be relatively pop-ish, but even then, and it has Al Jarreau on it.
Oh, wow. I love Al Jarreau.
Oh, there's some good tracks on there.
Yeah.
But Al Jarreau is guest vocalist on that Chick Corea record. And it was out of print. I have a album of it. It was out of print.
We're in this love together.
Al Jarreau's another one. Al Jarreau's another jazz, jazzy, pop jazz. You know, you'd have the singers. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's your pop jazz rundown. I don't know why, but it's like either that or.
I got a question for you. Simply because this pops in my mind since we were talking about like Mangione and things like that. A&M Records.
Yeah.
Is that Alpert and Mangione? I always heard at the time that those were the two guys that started A&M.
No. Well, no, I think it was always Herb Alpert, and he signed Chuck Mangione, and they did the Feel So Good and those other ones. Or
okay.
I can't remember if he did Chase the Clouds Away on A&M too. It's possible. He was on Mercury before that.
Yeah.
But Feel So Good definitely was on A&M, huge hit. I mean, Herb Alpert.
Yeah, because I remember the logo was A&M with the big horn in the middle.
I always heard that it stood for anchovy and mozzarella.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Hey,
that's what A&M stood for. But I think it was just Herb Alpert started that. I don't think Chuck was like the founder. He was just that I know of.
That's probably where I got the connection and is on the
but he definitely
record label.
Did a bunch of stuff on A&M and and Herb Alpert himself in that time period released some records as well that were hits. Rise, we played Rise.
My mom loved Herb Alpert. The old Tijuana Brass, right? Yeah. And she had every one of their albums. And Rise came out, I believe, in 1980. Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm buying Kiss records, and she's buying Herb Alpert. And I remember she said, "Hey, this sounds different. Will you listen?" Sure, I'll listen to it. And by God, it was an updated. He was firmly trying to go for the modern sound. And was I a fan of it? Ambivalent. But I mean, it's
Rise
creative.
Is pretty good.
Yeah, and I tell you, he there is no doubting the man's artistry and his compositions. I mean, even if you're not a fan, again, if you listen to it, it's one of the best. So.
Yeah, and then he did that whole, like I said, he did the whole, pop. He did the pop, jazz, and disco and stuff, like the Rise and all that stuff too. So Herb Alpert knew how to turn hits and make some hit records in instrumental music.
Yeah.
I think he worked with some singers too, but he knew a lot.
I couldn't get past. Remember the one album cover of Alpert and Tijuana Brass. Okay, the lady sitting there and she's got like it's got to be either shaving cream or it's lemon meringue, whatever it is. Remember that? And she's covered in it. As a kid, that is very provocative. Yeah. I was like, Mom, this is a little risque for you. What are you doing?
What's it called? I should know what it's called. Yeah. So the sad thing is we're here talking about that, and you bringing that up. And I don't have it here in the studio, but it's like very close by. I have a signed copy of that record from that lady. I interviewed her. Ooh. I have a video, which I don't think we ever released. We should release that, an interview.
That'd be fun to see.
What's her name? She lives in Seattle. The woman who did that. She's also the girl from Ipanema, by the way.
Ah.
Yeah, she's also the girl. If you look at that cover and you see the lady on the
Tall
shore,
and tan and young,
that's
and
her
lovely,
too.
Girl from Oak Grove.
Walking. I've met her and interviewed her. She gave a presentation. I talked to her. I have that signed whipped cream, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
I have a signed
iconic cover though.
Yeah, I have a signed record from her that I got, it was really sweet. She's she's doing all right. She's I can't remember how old she is.
I just remember that from my prepubescent days, and I was like, Mom, that's a jazz thing. What's going on?
I want to, yeah, of course.
And she would look me in the eye.
Whipped cream and other delights.
There you go. And then she'd look at me straight in the face and say, Jason, shut up and do your homework. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here. Dolores Eriksen is her name.
Ah.
Dolores Eriksen. She was a model, businesswoman.
Like to
say
I'd like to hear the backstory on her.
she went to college in Portland.
Oh.
Lived in Kelso, but she's a Pacific Northwest gal, or
Nice.
became a Pacific Northwest gal.
Nice.
Like I said, there's a whole interview with her that I conducted, and a presentation that she talks about the album cover. She
That's fantastic.
She talks about actually how the photographer did it, because it was like shaving cream, I think.
Yeah.
And actually, it's shaving cream and a blanket. Actually, a bunch of that's covering her is an actual like a flocati blanket or something that kind of, because you couldn't just literally just cover someone in shaving cream and have like hot studio lights.
It leaves something to the 8-year-old prepubescent boy's imagination. I mean, it's an iconic cover, though.
Yeah, I think she said she came from a very strict religious background, family.
How did that go over?
Yes, exactly.
Man.
It was sort of like, ooh, wait till my family sees this cover.
What was her name again?
Dolores Eriksen.
Oh, can you imagine her walking through the door after doing that and they first see that? Dolores, you get in here right now and sit down. What in the hell is this? And you look at it like, oh, it's a cover I did for her Balper.
Yeah, she was 30 years old when she took that picture, and I think she said, I don't know if it's on the Wikipedia, I think she said she was pregnant at the time with her. I think that was the thing. She was like, when I went into the studio, I was actually pregnant with my first, I think she has a son.
Hide it
maybe
behind
a doctor.
Hide it behind the shaving cream.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate. Maybe it's that's the thing. I think so. I think that's what she said. I gotta find. I gotta get approval.
Oh, to rebroadcast. Or play. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, it's like I have lots of like interviews and things that. You got to kind of get approval.
Let's have her on. Is she still around? Let's have her on again.
Yeah, she should be.
Let's talk to Dolores.
I'm trying to think how. 1935. So, she's wonderful. She's a wonderful, like to talk to. Just a lovely, lovely lady. I had so much fun talking because I was just like kind of, she gave a presentation on a stage, and then later I came where she had her records, and so I said, "Oh, do you mind if I just talk to you and roll the camera, like you know how that goes. We've done that before.
Oh yeah,
Comic-Con and stuff.
Sure.
And so it was just really interesting, and she's had a very interesting life. Like I said, I think she was like a business executive or something. After that, she did modeling when she was younger, and then this and that, and people just fall into things.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're the it girl. We're going to put you on a cover.
That's amazing. Because the question for me is, I mean, obviously she's probably answered this a billion times, but how does a Kelso girl go from being a Kelso girl ending up on an iconic Herb Alpert record,
Yeah.
I mean, because listen, out of all his records, I mean, that cover comes to my mind first, simply because it's such a different cover, Yeah,
she studied art. She's an artist. Says here she's in Longview now, which I think is right. I think that's what she said. She's Seattle area. She was born and raised in Port Angeles, Washington.
Ah, there you go.
So Pacific Northwest.
Port Angeles, that's just right across the river from Astoria, right? Up in that area?
Yeah. Is that Longview? I don't know, man.
I don't know. We'll get more mail for that.
Yeah. I didn't know. She and Diane Cannon were both Seafair princesses.
Huh.
Diane Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
Another lady from... Always liked Diane Cannon.
She was in quite a few 70s shows.
Yeah. And movies.
Yeah. Yeah, movie of the week.
Yeah. It was just like she did modeling and stuff for,
nice.
Department stores and all that. I mean, it's real Mad Men stuff, right?
Yes.
Hey, lady there, with the dresses. Step out here. Let me see. I mean, the misogyny of the 60s and stuff.
Yeah. Has anyone ever told you?
Yeah.
Really?
I'd like you to try on some of my dresses and walk the runway for you know. And then one thing leads to
Here's
another.
a card. Yeah, pick a card. You know.
And then eventually, life
Starry-eyed.
takes its turns, and
Yeah.
you meet Peggy, and then Peggy gives you the early feminist things.
Yeah.
Was it Peggy? Was it Peggy in Mad Men? Wasn't it? That was her name.
I believe so. Yes.
The gal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peg.
What's her name? The one who's now like Handmaid.
I think her character's name was Peg.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, I haven't watched Mad Men in a long time.
Oh, I love that. I love that show.
It was good.
Don Draper is my personal hero.
Oh, really?
No, I'm kidding.
That says a lot.
I'm kidding.
So, what other sociopaths do you see as your personal heroes?
Creating yourself. If that is your real name.
Jason, let me get my pipe and we'll sit on the couch.
No.
And
No, he. But I love that show though. It's my own personal hero. Here comes a hate. No, he's not my.
I like Don Draper. I read a lot of Ayn Rand.
But I think, yeah. But I think at the very end, he kind of, he kind of made amends a little bit, and he got his grand idea there at the very last scene where he's sitting there doing the Zen, and next thing you know, here comes Coca-Cola. He likes the whole world to sing.
And I'm over here going, Steve Rodgers, the MCU, Captain America. That's my guy.
And here I am, Don Draper.
Yeah.
Come
on, man.
Don Corleone is my... No.
Put me in the fight against fascism. I'll do whatever. Well, we've got this serum, Tony Stark. Okay, let's do it. That's the way, Steve.
Steve Rodgers.
Yeah.
All-American. You got it.
Superman. Not weird Superman.
No.
But, justice in the American way.
Yeah. Yes.
Jason, I like a good standard hero.
I do. Bruce Wayne, Batman, he's a little twisted, but he toes the line, though.
I don't know. Even Bruce Wayne, man. Huh? I'm all, like, in these late times, I'm all like, just give me Dudley Do-Right or something. I mean, forget it. I don't care anymore.
Right. Just give us something, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe DiMaggio, where have you got that line from Simon and Garfunkel?
Yes, exactly.
Nation turns its lonely eyes to you, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. Oh, there's a little tarnish on that sheen. Nope. Next.
Right. We need to. Okay. Let's think of right now a 2021 all-American, wholesome, something where people can get behind and just.
That's the point, Jason.
Put him on a Wheaties
exist.
box. I'd say Bruce Jenner, but it's now Caitlyn, which may have some trouble getting, No, I'm kidding. Because remember back then the Wheaties box.
But anything that has anything to do with the.
Yeah, I know.
What is it? Jenner? What are they?
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry.
Well, I remember when NuzBox came out with their hit comedy, Keeping Up with the Windsors.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, that was a good one, actually. And ironic that it turned out to be true. There's several like memes kind of stuff that we kind of speculated about that turned out to end up being true.
Spot on.
Like it was like, oh, okay, well, so that's actually is what's going on.
And it was just us being flippant too, this is what, and it's like, oh, geez, closer to home than I thought.
Like who hasn't watched like the latest season of The Crown and just been like, I don't know about that Queen and that, Prince Philip is, passed, but now it's like, I don't know. Not so much, I mean, like,
Prince Charles though does not come out looking
Diana.
real good. Yeah,
it's like,
Yeah,
it's like, you entered. It's kind of like entering the Corleones or something. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, which makes sense. Which makes complete sense. Anything that rich and powerful and weird.
Yeah.
Well, anything that rich and powerful is
insular.
Weird.
Right?
It's weird.
I mean, they deal with only themselves. They're out of the line, unless they come out and stand on the balcony.
Other people's normal families are insular and weird. Add money and power to it, and you got really weird.
Yeah.
That's what someone else, but Stanley Kubrick used to allude to these things because he was a great director. He'd meet these people and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, these powerful people, you want to stay away.
Eyes wide
These
shut.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
His daughter made a documentary and said, "Oh yeah, he'd just take me aside and go, you don't ever want to hobnob with these people."
Yeah.
It goes from weird to worse.
I've heard what goes down at Bohemian Grove.
Oh, well, I mean, and look at all this speculation and stuff we do, and then you look at recent times involving certain members of the royal family, certain favorite sons of the Queen that are pretty.
Looking at you, Andrew.
Yeah.
We're looking your way, buddy.
Come on. And then you're like, oh, I don't know. I have some sympathy for him. It's kind of neat. It's like, maybe that thing should all just die out with the last monarch, don't you think?
Yeah.
21st century, maybe? That's kind of my opinion at this point.
The British, though, don't they just keep it around as kind of like wallpaper?
And look, one of them has peeled off.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, the one that doesn't have any resemblance to anyone in that family. Odd that. Looks like my mom, but no one else. Odd that.
Odd.
Anyway. I'm not saying anything.
No.
It's just odd that,
it's
the Prime Minister of Canada oddly doesn't look like his father.
Hello.
But more like the Cuban revolutionary that his mom was hanging out with at the time.
Interesting.
Hi-oh!
Hey-oh. Oh, man, we're going to get mail for this. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, but, it's like, I saw this thing. This is really weird. What's that guy's name anyway? Megan and... No.
Oh, Megan and Harry.
And that guy. Yeah,
and that
Megan
guy.
and that guy.
The ginger one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The ginger royal. No, Harry.
So much like your mom and so not like your father.
Right. Where are the ears?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you can definitely tell the oldest one. What's his name?
Yeah.
There's something in Harry.
Oh, he
Philip?
looks... Yeah.
Did they name the first one Philip after the dad, or they...
Isn't he going to be the king or whatever?
There's Charles.
And whatever. He looks like Charles. Yeah, he looks like Charles.
You can definitely tell that.
He looks like Charles and Camilla. No. Oh, God.
Makes sense of that one,
we're
folks.
all we're talking about is the last season of The Crown. That's all we're talking about here.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, watch the last season of The Crown.
Oh, Gillian Anderson.
Oh, my God.
As the Iron Lady.
Oh, my God.
You got me prepared for that. So when I finally sat down and I saw the season, I just sat there. The only word I can say is agog. I sat because she nailed it.
Some people didn't like it. They were like, what is it? I was like, I don't know, man.
She nailed it.
We were young when she was on TV, and Margaret Thatcher was always, her and Reagan were
the Iron Lady,
practically
man.
having sex with each other. I mean, it was like in a political weird way.
Right.
With Jerry Falwell, like, in between.
Jerry Falwell. Don't forget Earl Roberts.
Yeah. How can you forget Oral Roberts?
And his 900-foot Jesus. And
But what's sad about, like, Jerry Falwell and like Billy Graham is their sons turned out to be complete horrible human beings.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, and Billy Graham, there's actually a Billy Graham scene in The Crown in one of the seasons where Billy goes to London and meets the Queen.
Billy.
But Billy Graham, Franklin Graham, and Falwell Jr., Mr. Pants and your ankles. I mean, these people are all whatever. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to get into that.
At that point,
it's best not to get into that because it's current politics and culture, which is like, If you want to be punked,
but who's going to be?
You're punked.
Yeah, but who's going to be the guy that's actually going to defend Falwell Jr.? I mean, you have to go pretty far to the extreme for some guy saying, "No, he got it, raw deal."
But you know what? Steve Rodgers is Captain America.
He is Captain America.
He defeated the Red Skull, I think. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not a comic book guy, so I don't know.
He did take down the Red Skull.
But I binge. I got all the. I all those movies.
Oh, the superhero ones?
Yeah, all of them.
I did kind of too. I got through the Avenger ones all the way through Endgame and that.
Yeah, I recently...
I haven't seen WandaVision yet, though.
I did watch WandaVision.
How is it? I've heard it's really good. Kind of like the sitcom-y sort of, I shouldn't say sitcom sort of.
It's all right. It starts great because it's real creative about the television show stuff.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this is interesting, right? Because you're living in these TV shows and they go from... like I Love Lucy to Bewitched to all of it. And they do a great job with it. And something weird's going on and she has all those powers and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the actors are really great. That Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, is a fantastic actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's absolutely fantastic actor, And she's good to Elizabeth Olsen. It's all good. And of course the explanation comes like in the whatever episode. And you're like, yeah, I know this is going on, so you kind of are waiting for it, right?
Yeah.
And there's the whatever. It's not S.H.I.E.L.D., it's the other. There's all these like secret.
Hydra?
No, it's another one.
Oh.
It's the one that replaced S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess.
Oh, I don't know.
You're talking to a guy that's not a comic book expert. That
they
just
call
gets
like
this from the
MCU
movies.
or something like that?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. But anyway, and so there's all these different characters and all that. But... I think the problem for me is I'm not so steeped in the comic book lore. Like even like Captain America, I wasn't like, I never really read Captain. But when you gave me Captain, it was like, look, this is Captain America. World War II, Hydra, the Germans, blah, blah, blah. Little pipsqueak guy, shoot him up. Now he's Captain America. Easy to understand. You're like, okay, that's a hero. Evil guys, good guys. Boom, Tommy Lee Jones, Stanley Tucci, done. Works for me. Yeah. Great movie, right? So the basics of the superhero movies are good for me. When you go off into the weeds with all kinds of different characters and people are like
the anti-heroes.
Well, and there's all these other. It's a universe, right? Yeah. Marvel has hundreds and hundreds. I don't even know how many. Different characters, right? I mean,
over the years,
so when you go off into that, then I kind of get lost. So it kind of goes off in that. Right. So at first it was cool, but then it kind of went off in that, and that's why it's like, it's all right. It was entertaining, but in the end, it was like, all right, And then the other one is on now, Falcon, and I'm just not. Again,
seen the first episode.
Spin-off of Captain, and I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen this first episode. Haven't seen past it. I'll probably get around sometime in the future.
You know what I watched? Because people liked it. They were saying it was pretty good.
Okay.
I watched that new Superman show that hit the CW.
Too. I did too.
Because people said, this isn't too bad. It's not a little crazy soap opera. It had a little soap opera in it, but it wasn't so insanely soap opera. It was like the guy actually suits up, flies around as Superman. It was like, well, that's what I want from my Superman. You can have all the Clark Kent and his family and soap opera stuff, but at some point, suit that guy up and give me Superman.
Right.
And give me real Superman.
Right.
Not weird Superman. Give me, hey, I'm here for the truth and the justice. And the American way, actually.
Right.
And so I watched that and I was like, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the kids, they got the this and the Clark Kent and all that stuff. It worked out.
His kids, they have problems. It's like this guy who's got all the...
that. I like that. Well, would his kids be like, maybe one of them has some powers?
Right.
I was like,
what if one of them doesn't? What how do you spin it? How do you spin being the most powerful man in the world, right? And you're protecting everything and come home and have a home life. Yeah.
I mean,
it's interesting.
From all that stuff, I just with everything that's gone on, it's like, okay, give me the hardcore escapism.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel bad. I need to escape. Give me the escapism and show me the superheroes. Or if you're gonna do something, a Star Wars or a Star Trek.
Give a good sci-fi or fantasy. Something.
Give me a little baby Yoda with the Force powers and stormtroopers and.
Hey, did you see that he opened up the stock exchange the other day?
I
baby
did.
Yoda, levitating some stuff.
I for the first time in a long time, I actually went out to the store. I actually went to a Target.
Target.
Because I had to pick up well, I got this new phone and I had to pick up a adapter because there's no headphone thing in it now. So you got to get an adapter to plug a headphone in.
Accessories.
Yeah. And Target had them there for cheap. So I was like, okay, I'll get them.
Sure.
And I passed by the toy section. I went in there and looked, and there were some Baby Yodas. And I didn't get it. I always said after the first season of The Mandalorian, it's like, I got to get me one of those. I will get it. Yoda isn't here in the studio. I have a little Yoda, regular Yoda, but I get me the Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
I didn't get it that day. I was like, no, come on, man. And it was May the 4th, too.
May the 4th be
It was
with you?
actually
yesterday,
the 4th.
Yeah.
Star Wars Day.
Today is actually Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, man.
Cinco de Mayo.
Dude.
Yeah.
I totally missed it.
I did too.
I'm so busy.
Until I woke up this morning, and then literally just now.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
I woke up and I said, wow, Cinco de Mayo just doesn't seem like that because of the pandemic and stuff. And then,
my social media sucks so bad. Thank you with everything going on. And I mainly use Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's showing me stuff I could care less about. And it's like, gee, talking about doing online streaming radio shows.
Yeah.
I may have done a few Cinco de Mayo shows that week of all the great Latin jazz and stuff that I like that I put together in a big mix for Cinco de Mayo, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But no. I was on Twitter. I looked on Twitter. There was nothing about Cinco de Mayo on Twitter.
I think a lot of that stuff has just been backseated because of the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah, they're just trying to show you, and it's like, and there's stuff that you can't turn off. Like, this is for you. And it's like, that's not for me. Turn it off. It's like, no, you can't turn it off. It's like, well, some things you can say, yeah, I'm not interested in this. You should be able to say, I'm not interested in anything. I think a lot of that stuff's promoted. Like, I'll go up there, and somebody's birthday is today. Some young, good-looking gal. Okay, you look at me. I'm like an older generation. I have no clue who this person is. It's so-and-so's birthday today.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Actress, singer? I don't know who this is. Happy birthday. Good for you. Bye.
You don't know how many
I don't care.
times my kids will come in and they'll say, oh, yeah, you're this. And like, there's some, some younger person up there dancing or singing or doing whatever. And I have no clue who they are. I don't know. I have no idea who they are. Yeah.
But I mean, I get this on Twitter,
Yeah.
So-and-so's dating somebody now. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care who anyone's dating.
I had
unless they're dating me, and then they're dating someone else. It's like, hey, wait, that's my,
right.
Wait, that's my girlfriend.
What's she doing on Twitter?
The Jonas Brothers now? What?
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
I
hope it isn't the oldest one that's just kind of. It better be like the middle one that's getting all the press.
I don't even know what a Jonas Brother is.
I don't know. I don't know.
But for me, it'd be like she's dating Patrick Stewart. Oh,
Patrick Stewart. Now, see, that's a name. Like, oh, wow. Would you like to come to? Anyway.
But yeah, I get this stuff on Twitter, and then you want to hit the 3 little buttons to say not interested in this. And
they don't give you.
And it's not even there. So it's like this is like some promotion, some PR that I have to see that I mean, it's like Twitter. I've been on Twitter for over 10 years. Like I'm an early Twitter. You know me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I went into my preferences to see what was going on.
The Wild West,
You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Apparently, I never specified. So there's a Twitter preferences. There's all the, just like Facebook, which I don't like to use a whole lot anymore.
Yeah.
You can go in and you see all this stuff about you and preferences and set this, personalize that. And oh, hell no, ain't personalizing a damn thing. Yeah. So I go in there and it says, well, I guess you could set if you're a male or female or maybe non-binary or something. I don't know. Sure. And you're like, okay. And I guess I never set that, which was weird, but whatever. Like you put your birthday in and all this stuff. And then it said, well, we've we've speculated based on your traffic that you are a female.
Oh, wow.
That's what my Twitter told me.
Wow.
My Twitter that I signed up for in, 2007? Like, Twitter came out in end of 06?
Something like
early 2007?
Yeah.
Yeah, early adopter. I think I'm a good girl.
Wow.
All right. I'm just like, what part? How do you determine that? I mean, first of all, why is Twitter trying to determine that in the first place? That's kind of weird marketing. And isn't that kind of a little uncool to do now?
Yeah, I would think.
Like in the 21st century for Twitter as a company to do that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Especially with all the heat that Facebook has gotten over the years for labels and other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it was the weirdest thing. It was right there in my Twitter. And I was like, well, this is really weird. This is really non-modern and weird.
Did it make you impulsively go, I am masculine? Knock it off.
Not really. No.
I know.
No,
how dare you?
No,
how
dude,
dare you?
Dude, you know what? I'm so comfortable.
Yeah.
In who I am.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should be.
Yeah.
Whatever. However. It didn't. I was just like, huh? That's weird.
Interesting.
And then I was like, maybe this is why I'm getting all that Kardashian crap.
Well,
that I keep telling Twitter, I'm not interested.
I think those algorithms, though, I don't think they take
algorithms are bullshit.
They are BS.
Look, that's what I said.
Hold on. You got to prepare this for me. Okay, go ahead and say the word again.
Bullshit. Okay.
I wasn't fast enough. Sorry.
I was trying to. No, I'm just gonna say it.
It is.
We can say it.
It is.
The algorithms are just like, but the cool thing is you can mess them up by.
Oh, sure, you can.
So I was kind of like, all right, you think I'm female? Good, but it bothered me because does that affect? I don't know. Yeah. But see, it shows me all the sports stuff, some of which I'm interested in, some of which I'm not interested in.
It tells you somebody else's, whoever the programmer, the coders.
It's an algorithm.
Well, I know, but it shows you their mindset, though.
You ever see Tron? You ever see the movie Tron?
It's possible.
Remember that? Remember that big thing with the face?
Yeah.
The big AI?
Yeah.
That he goes up against the original Tron?
That's them?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What the heck was that thing called?
I don't know.
That big thing, they end up like, and here's the big thing.
I always
Jeff Bridges is like, whoa.
Whenever I think of the big face chasing, I like Tron and stuff, I always think Time Bandits with the big face and chasing them through,
Actually, David Warner, I believe the actor's name is in that. He's like the evil second in command.
Yes.
He was in a couple Star Trek movies and TV shows. Great. And he was in Time Bandits. Yep. I think he was... What was he? He was like the devil or some demon or something like that? David Warner, fantastic character actor.
Yeah, I can't remember, but
But he was in Tron too. Every time he pops up, it's like, ooh, I like that guy. You know who David Warner was in Star Trek? He's the guy. In Star Trek 6, he's the Klingon who gets assassinated.
Yes.
But you know what he also is in Star Trek: The Next Generation? Mm-hmm. He's the Cardassian. There are 4 lights that's torturing Picard.
Ooh.
I believe so. I believe that's David Warner too.
My favorite role for him is kind of off the beaten path. He played. I
think it's David Warner.
He played. It was George C. Scott's A Christmas Carol, early to late 80s.
Just passed recently.
He played the clerk, right? And masterful job too. I mean, that is my all-time favorite version of A Christmas Carol. Is that George C. Scott, and that it's great. He's
79 years old. Mm-hmm. Of course, when I type David Warner, I get like a baseball player. Here he is, right here. 70. Oh, he looks great too. 2013. Oh yeah, 79 years old.
Are we able to get him up on the screen or?
I could. I could. I mean, I got the Wikipedia. Yeah. I mean, you know what it looks like. I mean, theater, film and television.
But other people may not.
What's this filmography, though? Film and television. He's just, tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. Henry V on BBC. Of course, it's like Gregory Peck in The Omen. He was in The Omen.
But where else?
Time Bandits.
Yep.
Yep. I remember him in Time Bandits. He's just one of those guys. You know, he's one of those guys like who's that guy who died? Rickman. Alan Rickman.
Yes, or James Cromwell.
Or James Cromwell.
He's always like just
a dude. If you're a director and you're making a movie, it's like call him up.
Cromwell. Yeah.
Like another one of our favorites, John Rice Davies. We could cast a movie.
Oh, easy.
Oh, dude,
Easy.
Call him up.
We know all the good guys to put in there, right?
But what about the women though? See, we're being sexist.
Oh no, we're equal opportunity here, man. We got it going on. I got plenty of ideas in that realm. Good, solid acting, good chops.
Good. Well, they're always what's her name? The English actress, Helen Mirren. Always Helen Mirren.
You gotta have Helen Mirren in there. That's a go-to.
One of my fan YouTube.
Kathy Bates. Yeah. I like Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. What's she been up to lately? I haven't seen. She did like that fried tomatoes, didn't
Green
she?
fried tomatoes.
And of course,
Misery.
The Misery.
I'm your number one fan.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. I've been wanting to watch that movie in the longest because I haven't seen Misery in years.
Run, James Caan, run.
Yes.
Do it, please.
Yeah, I haven't seen Misery in years, but she's just brilliant. I mean, she's like your every nightmare come true.
It's one of those things that's so well casted, right? Literally, she is the only person who could play that at that time.
And I have to admit, I'm not a Stephen King guy. Okay, I'm just.
Well, I am on some things.
And it's just, you know, some people just don't get into things and do stuff and read other things and don't read other things. So I know Stephen King's huge, people well respected, and I just haven't ever had the time to get into Stephen King. I understand his greatness. Mm-hmm. I've seen several movies that his stuff is based on, several movies that are very, very good. To this day, I think The Shining is a fantastic movie. The original with Christopher Walken's one. Hell of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
But the Misery is Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
And the whole time I watched that movie, when it first came out, I thought, my God, this is Stephen King writing his nightmare. Like you are in Stephen King's head for that.
Some back roads in Maine, you know. He's going along too long. Maybe there's a snowstorm. He gets knocked out. Next thing you know, he finds himself in some bed somewhere with wood blocks around.
Crazy woman.
I'm your number one fan.
Yeah, because fandom is crazy. Yeah.
I talked to Stephen King, by the way.
You did.
Believe it or not, we were in
very cool.
At one point, gonna have him on the show. It would have been my biggest coup ever, ever. And I was able to get through.
Wait, Stephen King? You mean Stephen King from Gladstone, Oregon, or Stephen King from
Estacada?
Yeah, Estacada, exactly. I'm Stephen King.
No, but we were gonna have him on, and I'd gotten through his publicist, and I talked to him. And
that's crazy, man.
We didn't talk about anything having to do with his books or anything.
No.
This is weird, right? I get him on the Hornet, and what do I talk to him about? His music.
Oh, wow.
Because he's in a band, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's actually a very talented musician, believe it or not. And him and his buddies will get up on weekends, and they'll go play bars, and it's Stephen King.
What Jason didn't know is it was another Stephen King.
Stephen F. King.
Yeah.
Stephen F. King from Dubuque.
Yeah. Of the Dubuque band, the
ventilators.
The modal, not the modal rollers, but you know, it's like
the holy rollers.
The
motor rollers.
Really?
Why not? Yes.
So it was on the show?
We were gonna. He was like, I would love to do it. I don't know when I'm gonna get the time because remember our show was live from unless he was totally free. I could have, and that was my next thing, but he was gracious enough to give me like 15 or 20 minutes, which I found no one does that. I mean, especially someone of his caliber. I mean, because those
just
guys
like on the phone.
Their assistants have assistants.
Oh yeah.
It was on the phone.
Yeah. You didn't get on there going, Steven,
and
I'm your biggest fan.
But he's got such a singular voice of his that you know you're on the line with them. And I was like,
oh, you know, his publicist was like, I got to get this guy out of here.
Right.
Where's that Steven impersonator we have that we could
It was the name that intrigued him. He was firstly they weren't going to give me the time of day.
really?
The Anarchy Radio. He was like, well, "Is this some sort of political?" I said, "No, it's nothing to do with political. It's just something we can go anywhere at any time and do anything. And no genre. You know, it's almost like the Seinfeld the show he had, the no plot show. You know.
Well, you guys did talk to some people. I mean, it wasn't.
We did.
It doesn't. It actually for you, it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I'll talk to anybody. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, there's people you could talk people in if you really can get through to a celebrity. You actually can get them to talk to people.
Oh yeah, we've gotten in our day we gotten people way above our Hall of Fame guys from Heart, Kiss. Yeah, that was my dream one, by the way.
Oh, of course.
Bruce Kulick, the guitarist from Kiss, he was in the '80s. You know?
One of my
great stuff.
One of my dream meetings was with you. And,
thank you. I'm
really?
sorry. No.
It was excellent. It was at the Velvet Rope.
Wait now. I remember.
People are like, yes.
I remember.
It's in the lore. Don't worry.
Oh yes. Go through the archive.
Yeah. But it was the Comic-Con. Yes. So there were celebrities there at the Comic-Con.
Sure.
And we were able to do the press thing, and so go around, and we had a press thing and video and everything, and we could meet people.
Actually gave us surprisingly a lot of free reign to come and go as we pleased, and I was really
But a person I've always wanted to meet was Elvira.
Oh.
And not just, I mean, Cassandra Peterson, who plays Elvira, and she was Cassandra Peterson. She wasn't
what a sweetheart,
Elvira
by the way.
Yeah, and we just walked. Actually, I think it was pretty early. We were pretty much gunning for whatever interviews.
It was a cold proposition,
and we were just kind of like walking up, going, "Hey, we're doing the Comic-Con interview thing," and she was like, "Yeah, great," and we talked to her for a while.
She was cool
on camera, and I think there was something she said, I think off camera, that I remember. Now I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, I always remember. Just a beautiful, beautiful lady. Always, I mean, everyone thinks Elvira, but she's actually
she's
beautiful,
very attractive.
I mean, she's, has a few decades. I mean, but and it's really sweet lady too. Like everything you'd ever expect. She was really fun and
very approachable, gracious with her time.
Didn't she say that this was the first time she had spent any time in Portland or something? Like in her life? Like I swear she said, I think it's on the...
I think you're right.
She goes, oh, this is actually the first time I've ever... And it's like, you've been all over as Elvira and Portland. Like maybe she made a quick appearance and left, but she's like, I'm actually hanging out. Because she was there for the duration for the
Q&A stuff and
3 days
and signings.
Yeah, we went in when she did the Elvira Q&A, but she was totally sweet, and I'll always say man. Oh, she was talking about Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. I don't know if that was on the interview or not.
No,
because and what's weird is when she was talking about that, I had already read and knew that they were friends.
Yeah,
because it's like, of course, Cassandra and Paul, Elvira. And Pee Wee, of course, they're friends. They knew, in L.A. But she was talking about their close friendship, that they had, and stuff.
He would be a guy I'd love to interview.
Yeah,
Paul Rubens, such an interesting guy.
Yeah,
I mean, you create this whole thing of Pee Wee Herman.
Well, she said, but she was just, I was like, oh, of someone who you just know someone who creates a character like Elvira and creates that whole out thing, and you know that the real person is not that person. That's an alter ego where you push in all your stuff. Yeah, and to this day, it's like that was one of the coolest people. I've talked to people, all kinds of people, but. Just people, and famous people, and hung out and had drinks with famous people and stuff. Sure. But she was definitely one that was like,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's a woman who plays Elvira. Why wouldn't I want to hang out with her? But I was just like, she was just
I think, what I thought about that after the fact, and I was like, man, that was really cool. And you know what I think it is? It's because when we approached her and we talked to her, we talked to her like normal people. Well, I'm sure she's used to the the slick sort of blah blah blah, publicist sort of crap. And here's just two guys. Hey, how you doing?
I'm your biggest fan. Yeah, no. No.
She didn't understand that we got the keys to the trunk. You know.
Well, you were the one in that interview where I was like, oh, here it goes. So much. I was like, yeah, well, this is going to be the end of Cassandra here and us. Is where you. And I mean, the interview's published. It's out on YouTube.
Yes.
And in the interview, you say, you got me through puberty. And I'm like, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Jason. That's probably what she would say. And you know what? She laughed and she was totally cool. And she said, I think I got a lot of boys through puberty. And I was like, dang.
Yeah. That's cool. I love the fact that she took it in the spirit that it was comedic. It was anecdotal.
I'm like, come on, man. Come on, I'm trying to be cool here. I like this woman. I don't want to be cool. I don't want to be like, you got me through puberty.
No, I'm pretty good at reading people. I can sense.
Yeah.
If it's inappropriate or not. It was borderline, but up to that point,
I was just that one. I was
cool.
I was behind the camera because I was doing the technical stuff. I wasn't doing the interview or anything. I was just behind the camera, but I was like, Is
that why I heard the whole time? Like, oh, damn.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like,
just stop it, man.
I was just like, yeah. I was like, come on, man. We're trying to be cool here.
Yeah.
Chill, man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was fine. It was totally I'm overreacting. It was totally fine, but her reaction was like,
because it's one of those things that could go either way.
Greatest comeback though. It was like, oh, I got a lot of people through puberty. Let me tell you, it was like,
the reason why I said that is I thought to myself, she's probably, as weird as that sounds, she's probably heard that.
I'm
guys
sure.
who are in their 40s or whatever, just say, hey, you.
But that's gotta be weird for her too.
Yeah.
And again, she's a very healthy person if you see her real life.
Yeah.
But it's got to be weird when a dude walks up and is like, I'm 75 years old. You got me through puberty. It's like, right. Oh, great.
That's right. Gummy comes up and, hey, I don't need Viagra nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, what? No, Grandpa, stop, dude, stop.
When I was a teenager.
Elvira, ever heard of
ED? Your show every night.
Ever heard of ED?
Yeah. Oh, God.
No, but, yeah, she's a wonderful lady, though. Fantastic lady.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite meetings. I don't know why. I mean, I've met other people, but like her, it's just like, when... What was we in high school or whatever? We'd watch her show. I think it would come her, what was it called? Monster Theater or whatever? The Elvira show. Yeah. When it was on television. Yeah. She would host. And actually my girlfriend, who was in high school, loved Elvira. Like she was like more, even it was like, oh, we got to watch Elvira's on. Got to watch Elvira. It wasn't just like guys.
No. Obviously not a female, but even like Svengoolie today is sort of that niche. But she'd crossed over mainstream. She did like Bud Light commercials and things like that.
Yeah. She did a whole bunch of, hey, make that money.
Got it, man.
I, in the last year, I want to say, watched her movie, her first motion picture that she did when she got big, superstar. And
she did an Elvira movie, right?
Yeah, It was on, I think it was on Tubi. It was one of those free streaming. It was like, hey, Elvira, there's a movie of the week, Yeah. And it's she's really so good because the whole movie, it's kind of like, it's like one of those things like she's kind of the hero of the alternative people,
Yeah.
And like she goes into a small town and it's like, of course, the small town's very conservative and, we don't like outside weird people, and she's
Elvira's getting it like that show, that Tu Wong Fu or whatever it was.
I mean, it was that whole theme.
Priscilla.
The whole theme of the 80s, the outsiders come in and mess up your small, weird, conservative town.
Yeah.
You know how many movies are like that.
Oh my gosh. First Blood. It sounds kind of weird saying that, but okay. Footloose.
Footloose. I was going to say Footloose is the whole
the outsider rebel. He's the big city boy.
Is that musical? Is it the Music Man?
Oh, yeah.
whole-
Henry Hill. We got trouble right here in River City.
River City.
With a T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. That stands for pool, you know.
Because that's the American, that's what we're missing. That sort of rebellion, that kind of, you know, kind of that John Waters kind of thing, that kind of like, hey, you know, not everyone's this conservative weirdo. Like, it seems like we're so like, oh, get your iPhone, get your this, get your that, follow Twitter trends. So-and-so's getting married. It's like, stop it. We're individuals. Listen to your weird music. Grow your weird hair.
Right.
Do your weird stuff. Just don't hurt anybody. I mean, I'm not saying... No. I mean, then there's a horror movies where they do hurt people and weird stuff. But those are horror movies. Right. We like that, too.
Right. But I like the campy, irreverent... I mean...
Yeah. And she would totally, like, in this movie, she's totally like that.
Yeah.
She's like Elvira. She comes in with her weird convertible. It's like... She inherits the house, family house... You know, that's like a monster house, and so she comes in, you know, and all the teenage kids in the small town love her, and the parents hate her.
Right.
You know, it's that sort of riff, and then there's evil, you know, people. Yeah. You know, evil bankers. Bankers. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Potter.
Yep, and bankers
Mr.
or
Potter.
pre bankers. You know, it's like evil
politicians,
evil cattlemen. You know, they're trying to drive out.
And the
politicians,
reverend.
Yeah.
Who banned the dancing.
Oh, yeah. Footloose. You can't do that. And Bacon gets up there in the middle of that.
Yeah, I'll dance.
And he's like reading out the Bible. And he's like, take this, man.
I'll dance.
And John Lithgow, which I love as an actor.
Oh, John Lithgow. There's another guy. John Lithgow, yeah.
We got to plug and play him in one of our parts. Because
there's a guy you got to get for an interview.
Yes. Oh, I'd love to talk to him. Oh, my gosh. But, you know, Lithgow's taken aback. But, you know, he's still, there's enough of him, especially because his wife. You know, she's like, come on. You know, you were a kid once. Well, you know, these kids, plus, you know, there was an accident back in the day that kind of ruined everything. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And so.
Isn't that always the thing, though? That's what I don't get as I get older. It's like this whole thing where, as an adult, you forgot what it was like to be a kid. Or maybe you remember, and all of a sudden you don't want anyone in on that action or whatever. I don't know what it is, man. It's like, come on, man. Kids are supposed to be like, I mean, be safe. Don't get crazy and dangerous, you know.
Kids are more safer than they were in my year.
Yeah, you don't want people going to the hospital and stuff, but still. It's like, you know.
Have you ever noticed that, though?
Old kids. Back in my day. Yeah, back in your day, you were like going to Rolling Stones concerts and taking psychedelics and waking up in people's bathtubs. You know?
Dude, the only thing I got to say to you is...
Exactly.
Like,
back in my day. Yeah, don't give me that crap. I mean, I don't know. Okay. It's weird. To me, I only trust people... See, it's the America of old. The rebellious America.
Yes.
You know?
Well... Yeah, I know exactly.
I mean, we'd come into Europe and it'd be like, well, we don't know what to do. It's like, well, we know what to do. Take a little of this and a little of that and get this fascism out of here.
Right.
That's how you do it in America. You know, it's like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's like...
I'll be darned.
Haven't we been through this before? Like in the 40s?
Yeah, you know.
Can we move on, please?
Don't even ask us to show you Steve Rodgers.
Right. Do we have to break...
Steve Rodgers, right?
Steve Rodgers. We need to break out Steve Rodgers. And then we need a sidekick, Bucky, too. We need a Bucky. Yeah. You just can't Cap's cool solo, but Bucky.
But Cap, man.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like that's
we
what
need a Cap.
Innovation comes from freedom.
Yeah.
Just kind of out there.
But he said no matter where you are. You know, where you are as an American, right? You could always look to Steve Rodgers and Captain America and feel good about it.
But you can rebel against it, too.
You can.
You say, well, I'm Steve Rodgers, but have you listened to this Jimi Hendrix record?
Hey, now.
Now I'm really talking, you know.
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah, well, there you go.
Right. And first time I ever... dude, let me ask you this. In the pantheon of American history, right?
Never works out. Let me ask you this.
Oh,
here it comes.
You ever? No. It's like an airplane with a guy.
Yes, exactly.
Little Bobby. Have you ever?
Bobby. Yeah.
And that's when the show went off the rails. No, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
But
that's okay. Keep going.
No, but in the pantheon of American history, right? To me, the first time I ever heard of like any sort of serious counterculture stuff, right? Now, maybe it's just me, was almost the Zoot Suit guys of the 40s, which moved into the beatniks, which then morphed into the hippies, and then went on. But I don't remember in American history there being a counterculture before that. Now, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it just came with society evolving through the Industrial Revolution. I don't know. But, okay, I'm getting too...
Counterculture, I don't know. But, well, yeah, I get your point.
But the anti-hero, everything back then, though, was, you had your heroes, your John Waynes, your...
Yeah, I always thought that it kind of had that whole...
Your heroes wore the white hats.
DIY frontier kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That no other culture really had.
That's...
I always thought that's... there's a lot of bad that came with that too. Mm-hmm. The expansion and all that stuff.
Don't get me started on Manifest Destiny.
Yeah, but some of the Western values, especially in the Western United States, of the DIY. Your neighbors has got to do this, and okay, we'll get together and we'll fix this. Like, there's no one that's going to fix something. You go fix it yourself. Get your neighbor help, and then you go fix something over there.
Yeah.
That sort of neighborly thing.
Community.
And then there was always that thing about where it was like, well, how you'd be friendly in the West because... Mm-hmm.
You never knew if
it's like
Smith or Samuel Colt was riding on some guy's hip or not.
So it's not like you walk up and get in someone's face, like, hi neighbor, how you doing? I'm doing fine. It'd be like, okay, that's kind of the how we
civics through the barrel of a gun, right? You have to we're gonna keep you honest.
But I mean, there's a lot of negativity. But I always thought that was important, and then that was kind of innovation and kind of that individualism of, well, I'm just going to go in and fix this and make
it's almost a pioneer spirit, right? An extension of that.
Yeah.
You were forced
and
to be on your own.
And that can be anybody. That doesn't mean necessarily white people.
Not at all.
Or anything. And as a matter of fact, in culture, a lot of great pioneers, not just like Western pioneers, but pioneers in science, in certainly in the arts. I mean, we wouldn't have any kind of music and arts that we have today if it weren't of all the African American pioneers of, the music we talk about every day.
But to me, one of the ultimate pioneers, right? And I know we're getting serious here, folks, for a second. But to me, people talk about pioneers and stuff and how, the white thing. But every bit, if you're 1865 and you found yourself in a whole different row, don't tell me those people didn't have that pioneer spirit, because one minute, you're going from the Civil War, and now you're free, and no one's doing you any favors because, and you make your own way in spite of that. Yeah, that's pioneering.
Yeah, well,
that's dogged
until someone
perseverance
messes up and shuts you down, that's a whole persecution thing,
Right, but
like the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all that,
the huge
that's like a massacre.
Yeah, but that's even in spite of that. People are still forging on, and God bless them for it.
That's the thing. It's like that spirit, that those ideals aren't evil. They're not bad. It's just the application, and then that's why I like the rebellion part, because then you're telling the man, hey, get out of here.
Well, the devil is in the context.
Yeah, exactly.
But
stick it to the man is what I'm saying.
But do you think America? Let me ask you this question then: do you think America can come up with a pure hero nowadays, or do you think we've aged the cheese has aged too far?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there are people who are doing great, innovative things, but they're also getting crapped on, and maybe partially rightly so.
Yeah.
And then there are people who are saying they're doing innovating things, and it's like, give me a break, right? It's like, give me a break, dude. That's not, at this point, making apps and websites, that innovation was 20 years ago, you guys. Or 10 plus years ago.
If it can get
Twitter's been done,
Oh yeah, and if it can get to the point where I can understand it,
yeah,
it's been around.
But I mean, it's like
technology.
ooh, look at this new innovative social platform where you can share audio podcasts. When were podcasts invented? Yeah, it's quite a long time ago.
Yeah,
it's like, and it's an open thing, and it's like, but look, we've discovered podcasting. Really?
Every generation.
Good for you.
Yeah, every generation wants to think like it's invented the wheel. Come on.
Yeah. On the other hand, trying to get to space in new and innovative ways, that's pretty hard and interesting.
Yeah. Which is why I love the SpaceX stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm so intrigued by all that stuff because it seems
but
like, and there's some NASA
people don't necessarily like the person behind it.
No.
And maybe for reasons, but whatever. But there's a lot of people behind that. A lot of young people who are doing innovative things, engineers and things to figure out the next. I mean, it's the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking. So we had a launch set up today. I don't believe anything's happened today. It was getting pretty late.
Yeah.
So there was one of those starships sitting there today. I was looking to see on the stream, and it's still. We had the Starship intro.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff. Weather looked really bad, but so I don't know what's going on. But there was a lot going on today.
There is.
Big soccer game coming up in an hour.
That's right. Champions League, right?
Champions Leagues, man.
Yeah.
So Timbers are playing their Champions Leagues in Mexico, I think it is.
Right.
Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
In about an hour. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can get that on the stream or not, but I'll find a way. And, of course, my team in Europe, Chelsea.
Yeah.
They
Tottenham
beat their final.
I know. They're in rough times right
rough
now.
times. But they're going to the Champions League final.
Now
so
you said Manchester City, right?
Manchester City.
You know who they remind me of? Manchester City.
The most evil, the most evil, efficient soccer gods. They're a really good team.
They remind me.
It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, especially the coach and the ethos of that team. They remind me of Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, or Bill Belichick and the New England. That system sort of
Guardiola. Pep Guardiola is the manager.
The machine.
Winning manager. What they?
But it's a machine, man.
Bayern, wasn't he at one point? I mean, he's a winning dude. No, they have the best. They're like number one in the English Premier League by so many points. I mean, they won it. They won the Premier League. Now they're going to the Champions League. They dispatched Paris. They dispatched who else?
PSG, man.
Oh yeah, quite handily. And so it'll be an all English again, like 2019. Wow. Liverpool and was it Man City? Who did that? I can't remember who Liverpool beat. Now that was an all English in 2019. So it'll be another all English. And Chelsea beat Madrid, Real Madrid.
To me, when I hear of teams like Real Madrid or Barcelona, I think of almost as the flagships of all modern football, right?
Yeah.
And so when I hear, it's interesting to me when I hear beating Real Madrid, I'm like, holy cow! They have arrived.
Well, that's with two former Chelsea players, big stars.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it's.
But I like it's amazing.
Chelsea has a German coach now.
It's a very a
right.
lot of parody though. You know,
they weren't doing.
Not parody. Parody.
Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, they're doing good now. They're getting Champions League.
We just had the NFL draft this last week.
That's stuff I don't.
And the whole Aaron Rodgers business going on. I
saw something about that. I don't know what that's about. Because I don't do the NFL or the MLB. I do the soccer.
I can give you a time capsule in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thursday afternoon, a guy from ESPN comes forward and says, hey, he has a report. Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, hates it there, wants out. He says he's no longer going to play. But then you're like, what? And the more you delve into it, and I'll leave it at this. I think it's a lot of nothing. He has 3 years left on his contract. If he retires, he owes them $29 million, which he is not going to do.
That's a little chunk of money.
But if you're another team and you want to get Aaron Rodgers, I mean, how much are you willing to pay for a 37-year-old guy who's probably got maybe 3 or 4 years left in
I don't know,
it?
man.
I mean, it's a team that's going to have to win right now, and you're going to have to give up multiple people plus multiple years of draft picks. And
You know, all I know
that.
about football, professional football,
Yeah.
is that damn Tom Brady and Gronk.
Yeah.
God, I mean, I watched that. It was like, these guys are like, this is like the Michael Jordan Bulls, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan thing.
Yeah. Or
I do like that commercial. I did see that commercial, and I thought, like, I ignore the commercial. And then I watched that. I was like, I don't know. See, I don't know what the commercial is for.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a cell phone thing.
okay.
And I was like, okay, that is a funny commercial where he calls Gronk on the cell phone and says, yeah, I'm going to, was he Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay? Go down to Tampa Bay, Gronk, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what? Tampa Bay? Oh, I'm just enjoying retirement. But the cell phone gets all garbled up. And he's like, cool, Gronk's coming to Tampa Bay. Because the cell phone gets all...
Yeah.
And then Gronk turns on the TV, and Brady's like, yeah, he said he's coming down on the cell phone. He's going to join me. And Gronk goes, Mom, get my uniform. I got to go to Tampa Bay. I love that commercial.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that commercial
It's funny.
was funny.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he retired,
Yep.
he said, oh, no. And then all of a sudden, hey, man, I'll join Tom for a little escapade in the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what? I have a bare finger here for my gaudy Super Bowl ring. Maybe a nice new Super Bowl ring would look good.
Why not?
Yeah, but I love that commercial.
You want to know?
That's something that people are like, okay.
You want to know the scary thing?
What's that?
Tampa Bay next year has all 22 starters coming back.
Oh God,
They've missed nothing. Yeah, all of them are coming back. And I'm like, and then you have this year's draft adding on to it.
Yeah,
And they had a good draft too.
oh boy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, so is Tom Brady's coming back?
Oh yeah.
And Gronk's coming back?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
They're-
It's like just Chicago Bulls, those guys. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, it's like the Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
You know what it reminds me of though, kind of even more than Jordan. This is gonna sound weird, and we're gonna have to go back even more. But this reminds me of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig on the same side in Murderers Row, right?
Yeah.
1927.
Yeah, back when you were a kid, right?
Back, I was just starting to watch Elvira back then. And,
Hey, Rebecca, what's your Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
I think she's going out with Lou Gehrig now. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ask her about that. And, they have all those people on that one team, and I start thinking about that. Like, wow, man, who else now is going to want to go down to Tampa Bay because you don't want a ring?
Yeah.
Sure. And
Yeah.
everyone coming back.
It was kind of a sad. I felt bad for. Was it Mahomes? Was it the? But yeah, they played the
Chiefs. Yeah.
the Chiefs again.
Yeah.
Change your name. Come on, man.
The Chiefs. Yeah. Eventually, it'll get around to them. It's already gotten Washington and Cleveland.
Yeah.
They dropped. They have the name still, but they've dropped the mascot image.
Yeah, that's good. I'm finally speaking of sports, I'm finally watching that Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. I'm finally, like, I put it on. I know it's old because it was on ESPN about almost 2 years ago. It's on Netflix.
It's good.
And
Gives you an inside sort of.
I'm about halfway through or more. So, I mean, it was one of those things, and they're like an hour long.
Yeah.
Mostly like 45 minutes or whatever. And I just was like, I got to set aside the time to watch it. And also in this pandemic, I got to tell you something. I would say, I mean, I watch some sports, but casual viewer, I'd say I have not watched more sports in my life than I have during this pandemic.
Me too. Yeah.
Like, I haven't missed a basketball game. Actually, I did miss the game the other day, which is weird. Now it's like, oh, I missed a game?
Yeah.
I haven't missed a Blazer game. I haven't missed a Chelsea game.
Yep.
A few. But, I mean, it's like I've been watching, if the Timbers are on that I can watch, because their streaming's weird, I'll check that out, my local teams. I watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not that big of a football guy. I mean, it's like, I had watched like So much sports, man.
I was so during the height of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
The height of it. I was so desperate for sports, right?
Yeah.
That I'm watching Australian rules football.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Is that
sport.
rugby?
No, it's Australian rules football. A little different. And I was watching rugby too.
Speaking of a culture that does their own thing
Yeah.
and goes against the grain in the frontier, Australians are like, yeah, you Americans got nothing on us. It's
right.
like, they're like, nah.
Yeah. I love the sport though. I started getting into it. I'm like, man, it's rough. No pads.
Really?
Yeah.
In Australia?
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah. And they have their own Michael Jordan down there. Their own guy that's like the biggest star of their Australian rules football. And he's everything you'd think he'd be. He's got a mohawk. And he's got tats all over his body. And this guy can play though. He can flat out play.
The thing I don't like about Australia rules football is I don't like the part, I think it's really over the top. I don't like the part in the third quarter where they bring in the kangaroos to fight the opposing team.
I'm not a big fan of that either.
Because I mean those kangaroos are big and muscular and they could really kick those guys. A lot of injuries. A lot of head injuries.
A lot of injuries.
But, you know, Australia, what are they going to do? It's like, come on, bring on the Roos. Come on.
Hey, I've been watching rugby too. Seattle has a team. The Seattle Seawolves.
Rugby.
And they're good. They're not bad.
Yeah.
They're not bad. I enjoy
Only thing I know about, I mean, I had our third grade teacher taught us rugby. But it was
the scrum.
The scrum, yeah. Wonderfully bastardized by the software industry. Thank you, software industry. Yeah. When I hear scrum, it's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Sorry. Dude. Yeah, software. Never mind. We're going to have a scrum now. Oh, good. Oh, goody.
Great. Time for bathroom break.
Yeah, exactly.
Be back in 10.
Ooh. Boss is calling me. Emergency with a client. Gotta go. Neat scrum, though. Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
It's like where, people sit there and decide what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, they get in. They call it the bullpen. Get in there and you're throwing ideas around.
It's a software.
What are you doing?
It's part of Lean, Scrum, all this crap. I kind of got out of software testing when that stuff came about, which I was like, oh boy. See, all my software testing people and the people I work with at software and do a software testing events are going to be like, Rrr. Although there's some people that was like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but you were neck deep in it at a real interesting time. But everything is so evolved during that time frame.
Back when Bill and Melinda Gates were married? You mean
right.
That time?
Right. And no prenup either.
Yeah.
But but that time frame is interesting. The evolution, right? And the applications of it. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I mean, this whole used newish iPhone. Well, it's not the latest one, but it's late enough that it's very fancy and very wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, in 99 and 2000, I was working with prototypes of this essentially. I mean, not quite as fancy as Apple made them, but way before the iPhone. Like back when AT&T and T-Mobile and stuff gave us special chips.
Oh yeah.
Where I could surf all I wanted all day to test. It's like, what site are you up surfing on now? Well, it has lots of graphics and some streaming stuff, some bad streaming video. Yes, but the site is... oh, yeah, that site. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, Scrum right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, going.
Yeah. Does not work on this particular site. No, but yeah, it was like, we had the earliest prototypes of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. So I know the earliest prototypes, pre-iPhone, actually.
Yeah,
I got my whole thing. Here's the original iPhone, my still original with a blown out screen. It does turn on more than my Samsung does now. And I have the 4 still works.
You're up to 12 now, right?
This is what I replaced it with. I mean, when I got iPhone, this is, again, I'm always going to keep this because this is number 1.
Hey, yeah.
The very first one that Jobs put out. That's what it replaced.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The phone Trio. Smartphone.
Is it their version of the BlackBerry or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like a BlackBerry, but it's the Palm. Palm. And then I got another one over here. This was the color. This was the nice one. These all work too, actually.
Oh, nice.
But the Palm, this was a nice one.
Yeah.
But it didn't really have
those,
good wireless. But I had like the original Palms.
Oh, nice.
That was the only ones that they had. Yeah. So now I got like this big monstrosity thing, which is really nice. It's really I'm impressed.
They're now just mini computers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And it just happens to have a phone feature on it. You know?
Well, I mean, I had this Samsung. And it was several years old.
Yeah.
And like you do, the stupid mini micro USB broke. So I couldn't even plug it in to charge it. But it had, unlike the iPhones at the time, you can wirelessly charge it. That was the thing I didn't realize now. And they're like, oh no, all these iPhones, you can set it on a thing and charge it with the charger you have from Samsung. I was like, thank God, because if you have a problem with that cable, you're screwed. And so, like, I've been charging it just wirelessly, but then it's hard to transfer the data off. Oh God. You have no idea what it took to just get all the stuff off the phone. And you know what happened? As soon as I was done, I got everything finally, and I had pictures on there and stuff. It's like I had to finally found an app where I could go in and access it, but nothing worked because I couldn't plug the phone in. Like, you plug it in the cable, plug it into your computer. Yeah. Couldn't do that. So, and the phone kept the battery. I mean, it had the big battery that lasts forever. That's why I got that phone. Guess what? That big battery that lasts forever wasn't lasting forever. And when the lights went out for a week, when the power went out here for a week, and that's like we did have cell phone service, luckily. Yeah. And I'm calling my family, trying to make sure they're in a hotel and not freezing to death. Yeah. Because elderly people freezing to death in their homes, thanks PGE, would not be a good idea. Happens more than you think. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, while trees are coming down on your house is a bad thing. So it was like, and it would just like die. And then it got to the point, like in the last week or two, where if I tried to take a picture with my phone, it would just shut down. It's like, we're done. It was like, wait, it had 90% charge, and I took one picture and it shut down. That's what happens when the battery goes, Yeah. But the whole damn thing, just, you know how you get that phone when it's like, this is nice, top of the line. It's got all. It was better than the iPhone at the time. Yeah. Had the wireless charging, had a better camera than iPhones had. It had a better screen that burned in immediately. I was always pissed about that. Yeah. I ain't probably buying another Samsung phone, y'all. I'm just saying, not that impressed. But anyway, I got and it was Google, because I got all the Googles, right? So I was like, Google phone. Why do I need an iPhone? I don't have all the Apples. I have an iPhone. You know what? This is a great Google phone, and it's an iPhone. Turns out your Google runs great on your iPhone. Like, it's running nice and slick. You download the apps, all your
Now they're
stuff.
up to 12 now, right?
12.
Okay.
This is, I think, a 10. An X. Okay. They never can say 10. Is it 10 or is it X? Is it Final Cut 10 or Final Cut X? When I see an X, I say X. I'm not a Roman. Yeah. Unless you had an iPhone IV. Yeah. Then that's an iPhone 4. But no, it was a 4. Well, what's wrong with Apple? Yeah. Why can't they just say 10?
Oh, they're trying to be trendy.
No, Final Cut. The Final Cut, the editing software, it's Final Cut X. And people go, Final Cut 10. It's like, what happened to the 10? It's America. America. I'm putting out a petition right now.
The Roman numerals there.
I'm sure Ted Cruz will
put down American numerals.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddy,
weirdos.
You do know that the numbers came from Arabic, right? What do you mean they came from Arabic?
Exactly. Arabic? What? Yes. Where the math came from. And geometry and other cool things.
Every time that one did,
was it geometry, or was that more Pythagorean Greek? I can't remember, but it was like Africa, the Middle East, and all that stuff. They invented math. Yeah. Yeah. I saw some. Yeah. See, I don't want to talk about the politics. No. Another dingleberry. posted something on Twitter and people were like, about kind of European culture, and somebody goes, this person isn't very educated, are they? They don't know actually the history of, like, you never studied anthropology?
Yeah.
All the stuff that the culture's invented?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Like that computer thing.
Yeah.
I sent you that a while back.
Mm-hmm.
That, was it, what are the guys? Phoenicians?
Yes.
Phoenicians? That computer they found sunk in that boat.
That is amazing.
And they keep like X-raying it and doing all this stuff, and they finally recreated the whole dang thing.
Intricate parts and everything.
like all the gears and stuff. And the thing is more complicated than they even thought it was after they built it. They were like, wait a minute. And it shows the exact position of every planet and the constellation and the stars and stuff, and it's exact, and it makes up for season, like the whole thing. It's a computer. It's a mechanical computer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I saw that and I was like, man, that's straight out of Archimedes right there. What's
but
going?
they
This
totally,
is Da Vinci stuff.
After X and doing all the stuff in the because it was just a bunch of rusted metal, kind of whatnot. But they, now with like the mummies and stuff, you can do CAT scans and you can like really get like all the computer cool.
It's amazing.
Man, I love that thing.
No, I love it too because it literally
has a name. I can't remember what it's called.
It's a great shot, to the kneecaps of what you think a history is. Or what's
the sad thing about history.
Yeah.
And anthropology and stuff is there's a lot of technological innovations and things that were figured out by other civilizations that were lost.
Sure.
That had to then be recreated later.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing about the Roman civilization, one of the key aspects, and I don't know, maybe this goes back to the Greeks. This goes back to others as well.
Sure. I mean, Romans stole everything Greek in their ascension.
But I'm trying to think of other civilizations because, it used to be go in and wipe everybody out and have a nice day, whereas modern times it was like go in, steal everything good, wipe everybody out, and and that became modern civilization.
Yeah.
Like, hence you fight the Second World War and you go, oh, but by the way, there's these rocket scientists here and jet propulsion guys. Let's take those. Let's take those guys and bring your designs with you.
Let's call it like, I don't know, Operation Paperclip.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So I mean, it's like that's how modernity and the value of technology, in civilization, to where it's like, well, don't wipe it. Let's see what they got here first.
Right.
Which is in the long run good because then you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
Yeah, but the way they teach history nowadays, I mean, you don't learn anything. I mean, this sounds weird to say.
I wonder who the first like the Romans are poster children for that, but I wonder like if the Persians and they must have like gone in and said, oh, these guys here got some good stuff.
Archimedes was not a Roman.
Yeah.
He predated that
but
a long time.
As far as how, but in modern times, there are examples of things that get lost.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Space program being one.
Mm-hmm.
NASA, Saturn V, the Apollo program, the Russian space program, the advanced rocket engines that were put in mothballs because they shut down their moon program.
Yep.
Now, luckily, in the case of the Russian stuff, after the fall of the Soviet Union, they went back in, grabbed those rocket engines and designs, and were able to look at it and actually have advanced designs. But like we lost a lot in our Apollo program, where we had to kind of reinvent the wheel because we moved on to something else that was good or bad or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, supposed to be better. So
the heck is this? I thought I turned this down. It's making R2D2 noises at me all the time. I'm like, come on, guys.
I know. It's like, I know. I figured out where the button was on this. It was like,
I mean, I turned it down all the way off, turned off notifications, and what is it doing? It's still spitting out stuff at me.
I know you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
The phone's going off.
And I'm going to turn this off.
Good thing church is like on Zoom or something.
Right. I'm turning it off.
You know what I mean?
See, again, that's my noise right there.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? There's always the people like in church, like...
Don't you love that?
And Jesus said, do. I said, and Jesus said. Yeah, exactly.
You're not paying attention in Sunday school. No.
But like as far as like knowledge going away, stuff like what I know about like space program stuff, where there's things like the old engineers where, hey, we figured this all out, and then we retired, and no one came and said,
right,
about that, you figure it out.
Well,
maybe
the Roman Empire dissolves 400.
Oh yeah.
I mean, any sort of technological...
The Dark Ages is what they called it, right?
Dark Ages, and people people are shouting America.
Yeah.
What got us out of the Dark Ages, folks? Yeah, evidently I can't even learn how to turn my phone off. It just keeps wanting.
Dude, that's like my phone. That's like my old phone. Like I couldn't even. No, I couldn't turn it off. Now it's just like has a blue blinking light. I'm serious.
My wife did this because she always wants to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to turn that off. No,
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, but
well, it's possible.
Yeah.
But anyway, like the Dark Ages and all that after the.
Well, it got us out of the Dark Ages. This is going to be people are going to open up a history book, folks. Quite frankly, what got us out of the Dark Ages was the Crusades.
Oh.
I mean, how else did we learn the math and their numerals and we took home everything from? Because it was the first time Western civilization butted up against the Near East, and basically had to live with them for hundreds of years, and it rubbed off. Oh, really? You guys do math a whole lot better. Oh, you mean your people can read? Our people,
I just always think of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail and all that. The witch!
I blow my nose in your general direction. Right. But, anywho.
Trying to see.
Of course, I know there's a lot of people out there. They'll say, oh, I don't know about that. Being the...
Oh, it did. Wait.
When
was this? When was this? 6? They launched it.
Did they?
That's what I'm trying to monitor. I mean, it's kind of hard to stream and monitor, but...
Yeah.
Chris B at NSF. I mean, this is in the middle of the night, though. They... Walking back to pad to begin securing the successfully landed and safe Starship. That... wow. Oh, man, see, there's a lot going on today.
There is.
Congrats to you. Oh, wow. So I'm going to have to go do the replay. So according to, let me see what every day. Sorry, I'm going to check into this.
Good.
So Wednesday is just a day with everything going on. So come on, every day. Tim, can't remember his last. Tim Dodd, who's at the end of the intro. I used his little video. It blew up. That's Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. He has almost 1 million subscribers.
There you go.
No, he's a good guy. Everyday Astronaut. 1 week ago. Well, shoot. I'm going to have to go back. Yeah, Everyday Astronaut and NASA Spaceflight and Lab Padre are all... Lab Padre. So I'm just giving you all the SpaceX if you want to see the Boca Chica.
Excellent.
Lab Padre, they have like 4 cameras that go 24/7 on SpaceX.
Yeah.
In Boca Chica, all streaming live on YouTube. Not just one, but multiple. There's also this lady, Mary, Boca Chica gal. They're all down there doing these amazing streams. This is what we felt like when streaming was new. The cool stuff you could do with streaming is this kind of stuff where you could stream this stuff. So I don't know, man. I'm looking here.
Well, I don't know. We did
post landing stakeout of Starship SS. Okay, this is NASA space flight. Yeah, it's sitting there. I was trying to figure out. look, I was like, there was a picture here. Oh yeah, it launched and it landed and it's sitting there. Hey, look at this, dude. Oh, I'm gonna have to see this.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put this on the live. There it is, y'all.
Yeah.
There it is. Launch, landing, vehicle safing. Look at that. So this is the first successful, like, the other one landed successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it landed, and then it blew up a minute later. And the reason is some fuel or something was leaking out.
Yeah.
But it had successfully landed. But like a tank was punctured or whatever.
Gotcha.
So that one that landed successfully was a successful landing. It just blew up, but they're safing it right now. It hasn't blown up on the pad. Look at that. Oh, I'm looking for a replay here. There'll be awesome replays.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go for SpaceX. I'll see if SpaceX got it. Dang it. Like a day like today, if we weren't streaming, I'd be like rolling like multiple live streams, multiple screens.
Well, wasn't our highest rated Curmudgeon show ever? Wasn't that the one during the solar eclipse?
Yes.
That we did?
Where I just was showing the solar eclipse.
A lot of people like
live and playing like old DJ music.
Well,
here it is. Oh, Bloomberg. Okay. Oh my gosh. Dude, they did it. See what we're missing. Where's this? Okay, where's SpaceX? And this is on the heels. Was it Sunday? Yeah, late Saturday night. The first official crew mission, not the test crew, not the 2 guys, the 4 who spent 6 months at the space station, came back in a night splashdown, not since 1968, Apollo 8.
It's amazing.
Apollo 8, the first Apollo that went to the moon and went around the moon and came back. Didn't land on the moon, but the very first one that went to the moon came down and splashed down at night.
Yeah.
Not since that, like 58 years or something like that. Was there a nighttime splashdown, and that was the first official crew. And then they launched a week ago. They launched the second crew mission. So they're up there. So they're in business. They're launching 4 astronauts. Actually, it was 2 Americans. I think both crews had 2 Americans. One, can't remember, one from Europe.
Yeah.
And both launches had Japanese astronauts. I don't know if they're called astronauts or I thought they're called taikonauts, but I could be wrong. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Interesting. Huh?
But yeah, man. So that whole SpaceX Dragon space station, that's like the new Apollo. That's the new thing.
I've always been amazed that maybe it's because technologically speaking, we become too desensitized, where something like that just isn't a big deal anymore. Like it should be. It should be a big deal.
And that's
because it's amazing. I mean,
so that's the thing that I like about this is that this inspires young people. I think, or should hopefully, yeah. And the whole Falcon 9 and Dragon, that was just independently funded by a really rich dude. Mm-hmm. And he put together a company and has it going. And now he is the only American launch vehicle going to the space station right now. Eventually, Boeing will get theirs going too. Eventually, for twice the price or more. But Crew Dragon and Falcon 9 are doing it. And they're landing those boosters like right on the ocean.
Amazing.
Like,
to me,
just
that's
boom. Yeah.
That's still amazes me.
And actually, I don't know if you know this, the big news was NASA awarded the next moon lander program to SpaceX.
Wow.
There was a competition and SpaceX won it.
Yeah.
And of course, what did Jeff Bezos do? He's going to sue him.
Why?
Because he's Lex Luthor.
Ah, yeah. Well, yeah. There's been a lot of
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. No, get your act together, Blue Origin. Get up to speed where SpaceX is, and you'll win too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little, but they're going to do the Moonlander, and SpaceX's Moonlander design is this. It's that. That's what they're basing their Moon and Mars and all that stuff on. This is the thing. Yes, it looks like Rocket Ship XM from 1958 or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Which is the beauty of it. It's like we're now like in the 19th.
Catching up to...
Yeah. At some point, you'll see Lloyd Bridges get on with a cap on, or Leslie Nielsen, right? It's like, okay, boys, we're going to Altair. All right, let's go.
Set your phasers to stun.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have the, This Island Earth guys, with the big foreheads. But, yeah, it looks pretty retro in 50s. Looks rather German operatic, a little Wagnerian to me. I've always called it it's kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, I always feel like we should be listening to something from
Rise of the Valkyries.
Yeah. Dun, 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 yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dude, I want to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we got it live on the screen. This is SpaceX's, so this is kind of... They're not going to sue us. Look at that. 6 minutes. It was getting late and dark. I didn't think they were going to go.
Yeah.
They still had a little sunlight. I don't know how well we'll see it. That one... 2 minutes. Here, I'm just going to go up here. We'll go to the launch. Do you want to see it?
Let's see
Might
it.
as well. Let's look at it live, because I've been waiting for this all day while we've been sitting here.
Yeah.
16 seconds. Should I do audio, do you think?
Yeah, if you want.
I think it's going to work. Oh. I love the way it sounds. Look at this thing, man. Look at this thing. I'll play the intro again. Oh! And that's a powerful advanced engine too. I love the camera that they have inside. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man, they have really
come a long ways.
And look at how it just like
literally
floats up.
Dun-dun-dun.
Look at this thing. You ever watch one of these?
Yes.
But this is they did it.
Yeah.
And it didn't blow up when it landed.
It didn't blow up. I love it.
They said they re-engineered some stuff.
T plus 30 seconds. Starship 15 is airborne as we get a view of the 3 Raptor engines as we're powering our way
Look
to
at
10
that.
kilometers
Look at
altitude.
those bad boys.
Test flight.
Wow.
The guy who's narrating this, is an old space engineer. He's like an old boy, like us. Yeah, he's all like, hey, there's John here, the space engineer. I mean, they got a bunch of young people. That's cool, but he makes us old people feel, you feel like
good.
A little bit like Apollo 13,
right?
Kind of like, look at this bad boy.
Just past 1 minute into flight, we're through 2 kilometers altitude. All 3 Raptor engines continuing to burn. Next major event, in about 1 minute, is we will turn off the first of the 3 Raptor engines.
He's a real deal.
And Gus Grissom rules.
Yeah, exactly. Failure is not an option, gentlemen. We need to work the problem. Yeah, no, man. Sorry, messing with that. I shouldn't mess with the sound. Look at this, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
amazing.
Cloudy, so you can't. I mean, it's great. A couple of them that were so clear were like amazing. Oh my God, they did it!
Yeah.
Today is a good day, man.
Yeah.
Let's hope the Timbers win their Champions League, man. It'll be like a great day. Now it just looks like it's frozen.
Right.
Coming up at T plus 2 minutes, we appear to have frozen the view from the engine cameras.
Oh, frozen the view.
Raptor engines
Okay.
continuing to perform, and we've got shutdown on engine 3 on time.
Nice.
See what I'm talking about? He's great.
Yeah.
We appear to have frozen cameras.
Yeah.
I love this guy. And he does all the cool stuff.
If you're heating your TV dinner now, you just may want to get out here and watch this.
Yeah.
Just pause it.
See, they're in the clouds. So.
Yeah.
Wow. But they made a bunch of updates. They skipped one of their numbers. It's like number 10, number 15. Can you see it okay?
No, I was looking at the time. I was like, holy cow,
sorry.
time is...
Oh, I know. We
T
got
plus 2 minutes, 40 seconds while we're trying to
I just wanted
regain
to see this
video
before
from
No,
the
it's
vehicle.
great. Yeah. No,
We
I'm just
continue
amazed
to
the time
ascend.
has
We've
gone
just
by.
passed the 8-kilometer point in flight. Everything continues to look good on Starship 15.
Yeehaw.
I actually didn't. There's one last thing I was going to have you do. Come on, man. It's not the fastest. This thing, yeah, it's frozen. I wonder if let me see if I can go up here. I'll try that. It should. You can play YouTube videos at
Just
double
past
speed.
T plus 4 minutes in the flight.
There we go. The engines are off.
Yep,
We've
there we
got
go.
the views back from the Raptor engines.
Oh, you spoke too soon, John. You can see the legs in there too. It just looks so like, 1958 experimental. But that's what it is, man. Literally, you have to do that. Think
Like one
about
of those Mercury
what it
missions.
took for us to do Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, all the
T plus 4 minutes 34 seconds. While we're working to regain video,
it's-
it looks like we've got a shot looking back at the flaps
I know
on
exactly
Starship.
what that is.
We're in the horizontal
That's their
descent
VLC.
phase now. We're passing 6
Hilarious.
kilometers.
I know exactly what that little
A
thing
reminder,
is.
phase that's coming up as we get ready for landing. We will light 3 Raptor engines, flip the vehicle from horizontal to vertical. If things look good, we will shut down 1 Raptor engine and then possibly a second one and land on
you're
a
getting a
single
UDP
engine
stream
in the
from
landing zone.
Thing.
5 minutes into flight, Raptor continuing to descend. We're coming up on 3 kilometers
that thing,
altitude.
man. So those, you see, it's like one of them says 61, so that's the 61st engine,
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like building them and blowing them up and going, okay, let's try this now. Musk said that they've gotten to the point where they could swap those engines out like in an hour or something, or something like that. So in other words, it's like, no, we want to be able to, if there's an engine that has a problem, just, okay, go rip that one out, put a new one in.
Man, talk about the ultimate
Yeah.
plug and play,
Oh, there it
We
goes.
have ignition.
There it goes, man.
Starship heading back to the landing zone.
Look at that. That thing's big, too.
Yeah.
That thing's a really big rocket.
There it is.
Oh, man, that looks good. There's no, flame. There's no, flame out in the bottom, and it's standing upright.
Yeah.
It's perfectly up. Oh, there is a flame there. Okay, never mind.
Still.
Well, that was
Starbase flight control has confirmed, as you can see on the live video, we are down. The Starship has landed.
Wow.
We're going through the safing sequence in the flight computer right now. We'll be
Little bit-
back in a moment.
A little bit off the corner of the landing pad, but still. Wow. There you go, man.
And
They
he-
did it. But
Yes.
see, look, you see that fire going on there? That's
Yeah.
that's the concern. I think the last time it blew up, there was a fire like that, and then, probably some gases leaked out and stuff, and then the thing blew, so that's something that needs to be kind of like.
Yeah.
And you see an extinguisher there? There's robotic fire extinguishers that are putting the fire out right now. You can kind of see the water.
The funny thing about this is this whole learning curve is live.
Well, if you've just
Oh,
joined
yeah.
us, you missed
Yeah.
a great flight. Right now, we have successfully landed in the landing zone, right on the concrete. You can see we do have a small fire at the base of the
Yeah.
vehicle.
Oh, you
Not
see.
unusual with the methane fuel that we're carrying
Yeah,
as we
it's
continue to
methane,
work
too.
on the test vehicle design.
Pretty highly
You may
flammable.
be able to see
Yeah.
water going on the pad from the water cannons.
Oh,
But
man.
again, Starship 15, powered by 3 Raptor engines, we have successfully launched it from our
It's
facility
still
in
chilled.
South
You can
Texas.
see the chill.
Landed after a routine flight where we shut engines down on the way to 10 kilometers.
There it is. It's apparently
Executed the horizontal unpowered descent. And then we got some great views of the engines lighting up as we came down for a landing at a nice slow velocity onto the concrete landing pad.
So they must have.
The past 2 weeks have been full of accomplishments by the SpaceX team. We've had the incredible launch of the Crew 2 astronauts on
Yeah.
the Crew Dragon Resilience. We've had the first nighttime landing and recovery of the 4 astronauts
Yeah.
on Crew Dragon Endeavor's flight last Saturday night, and 2 successful flights of Falcon 9 in the past 7 days, each carrying 60 Starlink satellites successfully into orbit.
Wow.
And now the SpaceX Texas team has flown a test flight of Starship with a landing back in the landing zone here in Starbase,
Sweet.
Texas. Also like to remember, this is the 60th anniversary of the first American in space, astronaut Alan Shepard and his Mercury capsule.
See,
And SpaceX has landed Starship successfully on this date.
Wow. Wow.
Again, an outstanding period as we work to enable the future of human spaceflight and expansion into the solar system. And with that, we're
He's
going
got
to
like a whole
conclude today's
spiel.
webcast with the views here of Starship 15. Thank you for joining us here at SpaceX, and have a good day.
Wow, he like I had a whole spiel.
He had it going, didn't he?
I didn't like he's usually not that. I mean, he's he does a good job. He does a lot of but he usually isn't that like eloquent.
Yeah. But a lot of stuff to appreciate and
wow.
And
well, like I said,
excited
it
about.
didn't blow up. It didn't blow up on the pad, which is what the other successful flight did, which landed. They said something that it came down a little hard and it was kind of cattywampus, leaning tower piece, and then it was like kind of like maybe a tank ruptured. But I mean, it's methane.
Yeah, you're like dealing with highly flammable.
I mean, methane or hydrogen. It's sort of like we could light that up pretty easily.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that's why they methane. That's like a gas that you could mine out in space. It's as opposed to rocket fuel, which is a refined process, fossil fuel process. This is stuff that you can find out there, so you could self-sustain.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where you could go out to Mars and make your rocket fuel to fuel it up.
But what about the dilithium crystals?
Well, damn it, I know, man. Well, we should get going. But you know what? I have this thing for you.
Yeah.
To check out.
Okay.
I totally forgot.
Whoa. What?
Now, this is a week or so old. Do you want to try it?
What is it?
The hottest salsa.
Oh, I can't have hot stuff anymore.
Oh, you can't?
No. The days I take a certain medication which amplifies everything really hot.
Okay. Fair enough.
Even mild stuff.
Wow.
Gets me nowadays.
Because I brought it because I know you like have a hot.
I used to love hot sauce.
Okay.
Fair enough. To love hot stuff.
No, this stuff. Okay. No. Well, that's good. Then we don't do it. No, that came from.
It'd be good streaming though, watching me sweat.
Yeah. No. You don't. If you.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No, but I was like, oh, I know, and I thought about it last minute. I said, I got to bring this down. That's from. It's salsa made fresh at a grocery store. I think it's a chain, like 3 or 4 of them, called Fiesta Foods. Beautiful grocery store out of Yakima, Washington. Although I think this is from I always say Pascal. It's Pasco.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. They have outlets. They're kind of like Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Like, you head out to Yakima and you can
Tri-Cities area.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's like one of these places, like a size of a Safeway or whatever. But like very Mexican
supermercado.
And you go in there and like their produce would be like all these peppers stacked up beautifully and stuff. I mean, I was
nice.
I took a picture in there once. I was like, look at this, man.
Yeah.
And then they'd have the fresh tortilla chips, and then they had all the salsas, and it got that. It's hot as hell.
Yeah.
But it's like it's got the peppers and the seeds and stuff. But the taste, like if you like super spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, people who like spicy, it's not just the spicy. There's a taste there that you can work through, and you got to learn how to discover that. Either people like, it's too spicy, get out of here. Or it's like, no, I like it, and there's this complexity of tastes,
Yeah.
And this stuff is my favorite salsa of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But you can only really get it. I've never found it other than Fiesta Foods.
I wish I could.
Yeah, you can look at it. Can you smell it?
I can smell it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this certain medication I'm taking now, it's amplified.
There's like garlic in there. Get out there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't. If you have some sensitivity, you do not want to try this.
Oh, it's good. It smells good.
Yeah.
It smells fantastic, actually.
I can take a lot of hot stuff, and even this is like you have a few chips and you're like, ooh. In fact, I had some for tostadas last night, and I'll probably finish it up.
Nice.
Yeah, my friend passed through, and it was like, guess where I'm stopping? It was like, you're getting the salsa, the chips, and it was like, she got 2 of them too. It was like, and it's just like, it's absolutely beautiful stuff. I want to figure out where were they located. I would totally like shill for. Yeah, it's Fiesta Foods. Beautiful place. Pasco. How do you say that? Pasco? I always say Pascal. I know it's wrong. Pasco.
I thought you always said Pasco.
Sunnyside, Washington. Yakima, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend it if you're ever.
I always said Pasco.
I love it.
That's what I always thought of it.
Yeah, I love it. I click on it. Here we go. So it's like a little. They have a wonderful. Yeah, they got 3 locations, all in that Eastern Washington area. Pasco, Sunnyside, Yakima.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they got a really nice website. Lots of fresh stuff. Anything like, any of the, like imported Mexican products and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's just say if you needed anything in that cuisine, that's your place. But it's only out there. I wish they'd bring one kind of in our area.
There was one, not that brand, but there was one out in Cornelius a long time ago when I used to live out in Forest Grove.
Yeah.
It was a supermarket.
Yeah.
And it was a complete
Yeah.
I love that place, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
This is like this place, but it's big though. It was, or at least the one in Yakima is big, like a big Safeway or something like that. So it's just like you're like, holy crap, they got everything. But it's like, well, I guess if I want, it's just like, but it's like the finest hot salt, and they have medium and stuff too. I think I tried. Oh, they have a green one.
Ooh.
That's not as hot.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's really good. The only other place that I really like the salsa is that Mexican place on Division there. They have a few outlets. They've got really good fresh salsa. I should know. And they have a whole vegan menu and stuff.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Next time. Yeah.
Next time on Curmudgeons.
Yeah. They have really good vegan options there.
Before we get off the air, we got to say that it's Mother's Day this weekend.
Oh, gosh.
I know. It snuck up.
Man.
I know.
That's a lot, man. There's so much going on, man.
Well, especially as we find ourselves digging out after a year. Yeah, after a year of being in the...
Not even knowing what's going on. Like not even knowing that they launched a successful Starship.
It's like coming out of a fallout shelter.
Yeah.
30 years after a nuclear apocalypse. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Well, hopefully we'll be back here.
Yeah.
Again. And doing stuff. I mean, I know there was a lot of stuff going on. So
no, I mean, I'm ready to go.
We did some stuff at the beginning.
No, yeah,
remember?
At the beginning of it, sure. The remote shows were cool.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, things are pretty good right now. Dropped some weight.
I know, man.
Got vaccinated now.
You haven't even
well, real quick, during the pandemic, I ballooned up. I mean, I was the highest,
amazing.
And I'm not too shy. I'll say it. At the highest point, I was 296 pounds.
Wow.
I was on the doorstep of 3 bills.
How many pounds did you gain from that? Like, was it like?
Well, I'd always been in the 250 to 260 range.
Yeah.
I just added like 30 more pounds, 35 more pounds.
Yeah, as you get older, that's not when you want to add the pounds.
No, and I was, I'm staring at...
Pro tip.
Yes, I was staring at diabetes and all sorts of other stuff, and it sort of had to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And everyone's asked, a lot of people, hey, how did you do it? 60 pounds now, 60,
damn,
just
man.
about 61
You look
pounds.
great. You look fantastic.
And there's no magic to it. There's nothing.
Discipline.
Smaller portion size, watch what you eat, and the rule of thumb is if you expend more energy than you put into it, you're going to lose weight. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
And
exercise is good, but the diet, people think it's all the exercise. You can eat like crazy, and you could it's still fighting like, oh, I'm exercising so I can eat more. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You actually gotta go look at the diet there.
Yep, I've had to refine everything. I've cut out sugars. The fast foods out the window.
Oh no.
Portion size different. Not so much fried things, but things that are roasted and other stuff. And it's just common sense stuff, and it just came off. I was surprised. The first time I'd gotten on the scale, I'm sure I've lost a few pounds. Because personally, I don't see it. I look in the mirror, and it still looks like I'm huge, And I saw it, and I was like 200, and I think it was like 249.
Wow.
I was like, holy cow, that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep going. And then I checked it again, and then it was at 239. I'm like, ooh. And
when you're on that pathway, it's really
Yeah,
a good. Then you're like, the belt's getting like, and you're like, hey.
My belt here,
Yeah.
at the height of it, I could only put it on the very first notch. It was down to the first notch. Now I'm up to the fourth.
Yeah,
and
but
it's going.
And people think you're not going to feel good when you're doing this. You actually end up feeling better, and the energy, all that food and stuff, and all that stuff is really grinding your energy. Turns out you're like, because you're just getting your body attuned to what it really needs.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Here's the thing. When you're a kid, you're a garbage can because your growth hormone, I mean, that's the natural thing. Yeah. You're a garbage can.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Kids are garbage cans because you know what? They're
can
growing.
afford to be,
Their bodies will take anything, and it's like, give it to me because they are growing. And then once you reach adulthood, your metabolism is going to change, and it ultimately gets you. Some people have really good metabolism or whatever. It has to do with how your absorption and
genetics and other stuff.
And your gut biome has a lot to do with it, it turns out.
Yeah.
So the efficiency of your gut biome versus the non-efficiency of it.
Like, I wore this shirt today, all right, because last summer, when I tried to button it, it came to here. I couldn't do it. And it's a little tight around the shoulders and everything, but still, look, I got some room.
Yeah.
You know? It's amazing, but I don't see it. I mean, other people are like, wow,
No, it's great, man. And the thing is that, you get more energy. You actually do feel better because you're not carrying out all that extra weight.
No, and your stamina. I mean, at the height of it, I was walking like 50 feet and I was out of gas.
Yeah.
I'm like and now I go down to the park and I rip out a mile walking around and then I'm done.
Oh man, I know. It's like
I'm not even out of breath.
Yeah, that out of breath walking, take the stairs and you're like, yeah. It's like, well, if you drop 20 pounds or whatever, you'd be surprised at how much better you feel walking those stairs. It's like, there's a lot of how you got to know your body and nutrition, and one size does not fit all.
No.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, my problem is I led a very sedentary lifestyle for 2.5 years.
Well, a lot of people do too.
And I went from 0 to 60 because the wife had a pretty major surgery. Yeah. And I kind of had to take over everything in the house and do everything.
Wow.
Including physically picking up and moving, which because of the shunt I shouldn't do, but you got to do it anyways. And
so basically, you had to get off your fat ass.
I had to get off my fat ass and then do it.
Hey, buddy!
I had to do it. I had to get off the keister meester.
Yeah.
And do it. And then I threw up my back last week. It was horrible. The whole thing went. We're good now. Yeah. And I was like, I'm talking to the wife. I'm like, you know what, man? If I didn't have this back, I'd be feeling really good right now. And now the back
you gotta be careful of the back.
Back's twingy, but I'm good, and I do feel it. I feel better.
The energy is amazing. You'd think that cutting out all that eating is but it's actually the opposite. You're like, oh, I'm feeling better.
And you get used. I mean, when I was bigger, you get used to feeling like that, and you think that is your normal when it's not your normal. It's not even close to your normal. Yeah. And all I did was just minor things, and everything started shedding off. And it's like, and I'm not going to preach. Trust me, folks. I'm not going to say only wheatgrass and whatever and.
But speaking for the wheatgrass industry,
right? But that reminds me. Today's episode is sponsored by the.
Well, it's just unfortunately for me, it's always a lifelong thing. Yeah, it's like when I eat, I always know everything that I'm eating, and people aren't like that. And you're like, wow, really? It's like, no, I know what ingredients are here. I'm better. Like, I don't have to do it so much anymore.
You've been doing it for a while. You kind of instinctively.
It's natural. I know I need this. I need that. And you can do a thing where it's like, hey, it's Friday night family pasta night or something. You can always do that one day where you're like, hey, I'm gonna have a little treat or something. Yeah. You have to be careful that doesn't become a habit, but you can do that. Yeah. But you have to be like nutrition conscious for your own individual body for your whole life. Yeah. And the thing is when you're an adult and when you're aging, you have dinner with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
The kids have a whole different thing that they need
Yeah.
to eat, and they can eat the burgers or whatever crap. And it's really probably. I mean, you should teach them good nutrition in the first place, but they can handle that. You can't.
No.
And it's weird that we in America, especially, have the same diet, like the family meal. We're all eating the same thing. Well, actually, nutritionally, all these people here need a little something different. So you might want to tailor it. I know. Now I sound like a wacko, but it's true.
No, yeah, and I told Missy, I said, listen, I'm never going to be one of those zealot guys, or because
like me.
Well, I have a master plan. My master plan is I'm going to go down. I'm going to crack 200. I'm going to get under 200, and then as soon as I crack my 200, just for one time only, I'm going to go to buffet.
Oof.
And I'm just going to load it up
and you're
for
puke, man.
Just for one meal.
Trust me. You will. You know what? You'll get to that point. No, you'll get sick. You'll get to a point where you're like, I can't.
Dude, I can only eat
Yeah.
half to a quarter of what I used to eat.
Yeah, you can't. You'd be like, no, I can't do this, man.
But I'm at least going to go there and go through the motions, saying that I went to buffet, and I'll try. I'll give it the college try. But just the one time.
You'll be surprised. You'll just be like,
probably will. Maybe we should stream that now in Vomitivision.
Yeah. It's like I could. Yeah, I could never go to like a burger joint, like the main burger joints that we all know in American culture. I could never order one of those meals. Like I could never eat one of them. They just would make me sick. I mean, I stopped eating that. Like those burger joint, like chain burger joints.
Yeah.
In like 90, it was late 90s, 98, 99.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything that was like a hamburger.
Wow.
Until I had like a vegetarian garden burger.
Mm-hmm.
I would sometimes get those at McMinimum's if I want McMinimum somewhere.
Yeah.
And I've eaten things that are like hamburgers now, but they're entirely vegan. They're plant-based. They're not hamburgers.
Soylent Green.
Yes, exactly.
But I've always said this throughout everything. Technology sometime is going to get to the point where you no longer need animal stuff.
That's what I believe,
and
you know that.
People always give me cow. I could care less. I could care less if it's plant based, whatever.
Just tastes good.
Exactly. That's it.
And it has protein and the nutrition you need.
That's it.
I know that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's like that's obviously what I believe in for myself. And the thing is I always go. My weird thing is Star Trek and space. It's like. The
replicators.
Yeah. Are you going to go out into space? I don't think you're going to have a cow ranch or pigs or a mill. I mean, you're going to have to. I mean, it's already. They have to send up all this prepackaged
Your
stuff.
propulsion engine is 5 cows and a mule. Because of the methane, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like things like making plant-based, like hydroponics and stuff like that. That's like easy to do, and they're doing weird things with proteins and stuff like that
in
too.
the future. I can see a 3D.
It's Replicator.
I can see a 3D printer for food.
It's Replicator.
Yeah.
They're already doing that.
Yeah.
Now they're already doing like it's totally the Replicator from Star Trek.
I'm fine with it as long as it tastes. If someone put me 2 buns and something that looks like a hamburger, as long as it tastes okay, I could care less. I could care less.
You might try something.
Beyond? Is that the Beyond Burger?
Yeah.
And I know Burger King has that Impossible Whopper. I've never tried it yet.
I haven't either, but I don't.
But I've heard Beyond is fabulous. I've heard it's not. I
don't have a lot of that stuff. Occasionally I do.
Yeah.
I had spaghetti and meatballs the other night, and it was a special deal. Wasn't just me eating, and it had Beyond meatballs in it. They were really good.
Yeah.
They were like, whoa. And they taste pretty, meaty,
Tastes like,
I guess. Yeah. I mean, they're so, yeah, you might try them. I mean, but I don't know. I'm weird, but But you have to know the nutrition of your body.
Yeah.
And you have to just be disciplined and go, my body doesn't need this.
That's the biggest thing.
My body doesn't need a quart of ice cream.
Willpower. I have none. I'll frankly admit, I have no willpower.
It's tough.
And you have to literally rewire, because I am such a carnivore, dude. I mean, I eat from meat. And I have to, and I still do in moderation. But it's
well, that's where all that Beyond and all that stuff is.
Rewiring of everything, right?
Like, kind of like people like you. I mean, there's like a lot of vegetarian stuff. Who are like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't know, you know. But a lot of that stuff is kind of more geared toward
the transitional.
Yeah. Or people who are like, I like that taste. Well, here's some stuff that might be healthier for you.
Yeah, I could care less.
Doesn't have cholesterol.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the which is a thing. But Yeah. The one I'm fascinated with, because I do like eggs.
Okay.
There's this thing called Just Egg.
Okay. You told me about that once.
I did a whole video.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube video where I made an omelet with it.
Interesting.
It's really good. I mean, it's like an omelet.
Yeah.
It's like, has the texture, has the flavor.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's like, you make a Denver omelet. It's entirely plant-based. It's made from mung beans. I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, my God.
It's like all this stuff like invented in Asia.
Mung beans, right. I've heard a lot of that, yeah.
But the thing is, it cooks like a scrambled egg. And it's not like a crappy one. It's like, you brown it up. And now they're doing like sandwich, like the little, like sandwich scrambled egg stuff all that.
Yeah.
And I know they've done stuff like this in the past, but this one is like really like...
Whole new level, huh?
Yeah. Well, I got that video out there where I actually go through and make an omelet with it.
Now, is that on your... where can people access this?
I'm trying to think now.
Is it YouTube on your YouTube?
Is it on... Which YouTube? How many YouTubes do I have? I have lots of YouTubes. There's lots of YouTubes out there that I'm somehow
Could you be more specific?
Yeah. It's definitely on... There's a excuse me, a Supplanted YouTube. That I was going to do a bunch of cooking stuff. And so I put that there.
Gotcha.
That one thing. I don't know if it's on my Dr. Normal one. I may have taken it off and just put it there. So you'd have to... You could just... I wonder if it's weird because I made it because there was like one video of someone doing it. And so I made a really... Like, I mean, I did just kind of cook it and put a camera, but I produced it really well and nicely. And I did I worked on this video. Like, I did a nutrition thing. I showed it live cooking. I kept it within a certain minutes. I compared it to eggs and all that stuff. I did a really professionally produced thing.
I have an idea to...
And then a whole bunch of other people did it, right? It was like... And probably got more views than me.
Well, again, I'll talk to you off air about this, but I've got an idea about something like that, and I've been kind of kicking it over for the past, year or two.
I'm trying to see if...
But I'm not going to say it on the air, so folks, you don't get to hear it.
Let me see if I type it in... Let me see if mine comes up. I'm logged in. Oh, yeah, look. Here's one... How to make a vegan breakfast, how to make a vegan omelet. Look, it's just... Yeah, is mine in here? No. There's a whole bunch of people who made them. But when I made mine, vegan omelet, everyone else came and did it. It's like, where's mine? Where's mine? This gal who lives in Portland. Yeah, break into the vegan YouTube. Thanks. Yeah. Just egg omelet with vegetables. I think that guy was one that was still around. I'm looking for mine. Look, I can show you. I'm like going through these. Like, I'm going down here. Is mine anywhere here? Nope. It has a graphic. Look, how to make an omelet. Like, all these are 11 months ago. Like, everyone jumped on and started making omelets. But where's mine? Where's the one I made? Oh my gosh, look, I still can't find it. Like, it's like, YouTube hates me. Everybody hates me. I just...
Because you keep talking about
the algorithms. Look at this. Look, there's omelets everywhere. When I did this search the first time, when I made the actual Just Egg omelet, and I put it out on Twitter and everything, no. But here, everyone in the world has made an omelet now.
Ain't that always
Where's mine? Where's... Oh, wait, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. F you, Mike.
You know, it's almost like when you are on a radio show and you take over a city hall and you feel like you're making history. Then
here's mine. Oh, look. I have 27 views. And I posted this 2 years ago.
The rest are 11 months and you're 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago I posted this. And this guy had one 2 years ago. So this guy had a real nice thing here. 1 year ago. All these others are 1 month ago. This guy made a scramble. But this is the only other guy that made an omelet. There's 2 other people that posted this video. And look, see the graphic? Look, see, here's mine. Just egg versus omelet. I got a nice graphic. See? Got music.
They say you can't make an omelet
narration
without breaking some eggs. Well, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
Nice. Oh,
dude, come on, man.
Supplant it.
Yes.
Supplant. We need that voice as supplant it.
Look.
Today, we're going to try a product called Just Egg,
I got a cheesy
plant-based
narration.
egg replacement. According to the back of the attached black tag,
knocked this
the
out.
product is based on the 4,400-year-old
I'm gonna
mung
make a
bean
video.
and scrambles like an egg.
And
Now, if you're like me, mung bean sprouts come to
Come
mind.
on, man.
But this product is actually made
This
from the
thing is
mature mung
3
bean and
minutes
not
long.
the sprouts.
You can. I got all
Of
this.
course, all the ingredients and nutritional information
Look at
can
this.
be found on the back label
What's wrong with this
and
video?
at justforall.com.
It's nutrition.
it's too good.
Look, this is the part I
Excluding
really
additional
like.
oil, seasoning, and
compare
vegetables,
it to
our
egg.
Just Egg omelet will contain
You know what's wrong with
180
it?
total
Ever
calories,
do
80
this?
fat
No.
calories, 10
You know what's
grams
wrong
of
with this?
unsaturated
It's
fats,
too
20
good.
grams
Yeah,
of
well,
protein,
that's
no
always the
cholesterol,
story.
and 600 milligrams of sodium. This
And I
is
use
4
the cheesy
servings,
backup
which is half
music.
of the 12-ounce bottle, which to me is about the equivalent of a 3-egg
egg
omelet.
Yeah, so there's about six eggs in one of those bottles.
But enough of this talking. Let's get cooking.
Nice.
So first we're going to
There's
use
a
some
GoPro
olive
on
oil.
there, you know.
We'll saute up some mushrooms.
There you go.
I can't believe it. Yeah, nobody cared about this. It's like
It's too
Let's
good.
add some
sped it up,
onions.
you know, so you don't have to sit.
Nice and translucent.
Nice and trendy.
I've got others
I've
in the
added
works.
chopped red peppers. You
Vegan
could also
gumbo?
use chopped green
That's in the-
peppers.
I have. Oh, I have. But I'm so motivated to make a YouTube video
how
that
about
nobody
some
watches.
fine
So you know
chocolate?
what I mean. But that's
Oh, I know what
Now
you
shake
Yes,
the
exactly.
Just Egg bottle well. Notice
It's
there's
only
a
3
foil
minutes.
seal that you'll have to remove.
Yeah, I opened it and I couldn't get the seal off. I'm like, hey, wait, you know how it has a seal that you can never.
Hot stuff coming through. Hot stuff.
Let's add some scallions,
Ooh.
green onions,
Ooh.
Yeah, I just like I'm making a Denver mushroom.
Yeah.
I didn't put any vegan cheese. Oh man, dude,
Yeah.
and some black pepper.
I got some. Talk about some vegan cheese, man. Oh, so
Now my omelet was a little sticky, and
Yeah, I was
that
like,
might
oops.
have just been my cooking.
nice. Let me mess this up during the video because I was just literally like making it for breakfast, and I'm like, oh, I'll put the GoPro on here.
And that omelet turned out well.
Hey.
The texture looks perfect.
I made a diner omelet.
Look at the
Yeah.
crust
If you
on
kind of
it.
make a crust that's diner style.
Oh, there
Hey,
it
I
is.
hope you enjoyed this video. Click on the subscribe so we can bring you more cooking
Oh my
and
God.
reviews.
Whatever.
Nice.
I'll sell T-shirts instead. I don't know.
Right.
Screw this YouTube thing. It's a fad.
I've got some ideas for a T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, so many. But I mean, I'm just telling you, it's like, yeah, I've got like other videos, like,
Yeah.
of things that I make that are traditional dishes. That's what I like. Make a thing that's tasty and traditional, but it's not like weird, like, oh, this is plant-based weird stuff. You know what I mean? It's like,
No.
oh no. Like I've made stuff and taken them to dinner parties, and it was just like Madge with the thing. It's like, oh, plant-based, you're soaking in it. You know, it was like literally people are like, wait, what? This is did you say this is vegetarian, vegan?
Isn't
What is this?
Isn't
I
it
can't
amazing
believe
when
it.
you don't advertise in front?
No,
people,
you just
because you precondition people that you know.
You just want to go with it. Just cook some good food.
That's right.
You know, figure out what to do and then just serve it. And like I can make a whole turkey Thanksgiving dinner without the actual turkey, unless it's tofurkey or whatever.
Yeah.
All the sides, all plant-based.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, really? This is a vegetarian? Well, this is good. I'll have some more dressing, please, and potatoes and gravy and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
It's I know. We killed that horse.
No, I think we're about there. Mother's Day is going to come a weekend. Folks, call your mother.
Yeah, I'll probably make some food or something. Timbers started, so I think.
All right.
I think they're starting. So hopefully Timbers, the CONCACAF.
That's right.
Champions League.
That's right.
Down in Mexico. Let's wish the Timbers well. I don't know if there might be a Blazers game on tonight. My God.
I don't know.
Today is like Sports Sunday and.
Yeah, I wasn't able to really watch.
Starships and.
Yeah, I know.
Big day for me, man.
And it's only a Wednesday.
I know. All right, man.
All right.
So we'll.
Something tells me we're going to be doing this a little more.
Oh,
often.
I hope so.
I think so too. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm excited.
I was definitely missing it.
Yep.
So you know.
Now that the back is better,
Cool.
the wife has got her health stuff under control.
You're vaccinated now.
Vaccinated. I got some stuff on the pot cooking, and I'm ready to roll, man.
You got the Michael McDonald album on there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sweet
Exactly.
freedom, shine the light on me.
Exactly.
We were doing that. Missy was cooking something the other day. We have the Alexa, right? And so she likes soft rock.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
soft rock, man.
And every time I do that, I always walk in. I don't call it anymore. I call it soft rock socks, just because of the image. And I walk in there, and there's Michael McDonald.
Soft rock socks.
And out of nowhere, because they're singing, and I'm around the corner, I'm like,
yeah.
She's like, what? I'm like, freedom, shine light on me. And they're like, what? I turn around, it's like, I was messing with her.
We were doing for that landing. Mm-hmm. After the smooth jazz, I don't know why it was just like all the adult contemporary this weekend, but after the smooth jazz, it was for the crew landing. Mm-hmm. It was planetarian soft rock.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, you know the Gary Wright,
yeah.
the Dreamweaver,
yeah,
the, little wings, little. Oh yeah, I was pulling out. Yeah.
Steely Dan.
A little bit, a lot of different kind of soft. Not
like
the
that.
soft romance rock, the more soft planetarium rock.
Yes.
It's little fly like an eagle.
It's like where soft rock meets what's the term for it? It's
album oriented.
Yeah, prog,
kind of. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, ELO. We had the ELO. Oh yeah,
Electric Light Orchestra.
That was the soundtrack to watching the
Little River Band.
Oh yeah,
I love Little River Band. By the way,
that's what we were. Oh yeah,
walking through the park and reminiscing.
That's what we were playing. Watching the crew dragon come down.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because man, my planetarium, and I was reminiscing about my old high school planetarium day. Let's go to the planetarium.
Oh, I remember that. I saw Laser Jimi Hendrix there.
Oh man, Laser Floyd.
Yeah, they had
Laser Zeppelin.
Yep.
Oof.
I wanted to see. They had Laser Kiss there not long before they shut down, and I wanted to see it so bad. I never got to see it.
Oh man,
I know. Now all I can do is shine a flashlight up at the ceiling,
That's right.
or one of those little pocket laser things, and I'm like, look, planetarium.
I know, exactly.
Cats love it. Not so hot for me though. But you know.
All right.
We out of here?
Yeah, we're out of here.
Folks, take it easy.
God, it just blew up. It just blew up. It just blew up.